Thank you for your cooperation.
Just back up a little.
Good afternoon from Beverly Hills.
Hey, the green house, please get on the street.
That's
Help us out, come on.
a Trump rally, one of these weekly Trump rallies here in Beverly Hills on Santa Monica Boulevard. We have kind of a chaotic scene at the moment with police in the background. Here we are in Santa Monica and Beverly. I believe there's a bomb threat in the area right now. I had some difficulty getting over here because of streets blocked off. And hi, Annabelle. Let's flip this thing around.
You want a selfie stick?
Hey.
Yes?
Yes. Can you hook up the selfie stick? Thank you. We're just getting set up here. All right.
Okay.
So, there we go. So, oh no, we're not at Beverly. We're at Rodeo. Excuse me. We're at the corner of Santa Monica and Rodeo. The rally has been moved a little ways west because of this apparent bomb threat. Nonetheless, bomb scare or not, we've got a sizable Trump crowd here today. And some people gathered across the street, across Santa Monica Boulevard, standing and watching. Let's see what people are gathering around here.
I've been there. You go there. I've been there. My family's there. What are you talking about? My family's
We've got an argument.
So I'm from the country. No, that's your fact. No, that's your fact. That's your fact. No, that's your fact.
No, that is historical.
Where do you get it from? Tell me the book you get it from.
It is from the book of, it's called, if you go over there and talk to the elders, they will tell you
It's a book. It's come from a book called If You Go Over There, They Will Tell You.
They will tell you what
I'm asking you.
was.
What's the,
You
give me
go
the
talk to
information.
an elder, somebody who has more knowledge than me.
Give me, what's the information?
I'm
Why do
telling
you
you,
why do you
that
trust
so
that?
fucking listen.
Why do you trust
It's
that?
good.
Why do you trust that? Why do you trust that?
Because I know the people who have lived there. I've got people on that continent. I can say you
Yes, I did too. I didn't visit. I'm from there.
So what you need
My
to
family's
do-
from there,
Yes,
brother.
we are live.
I am though. Oh yeah, it don't matter. What you're saying is so true. It's out of your mouth who's never been on Africa at all, but it's true. It's your mouth who's never been on. Oh, you know them. Oh, you know them. Okay, I can call it my aunt, my cousin, my mom. What do you want? What do you want?
I know.
Oh, then it doesn't matter. So unless there's people, you know that's the only thing that matters. That's the only truth. What are we talking? What are we trying to do here? What are we trying to do?
We're trying to
What's
change
out there?
this shit.
Okay, so do you care about all the
hate
kids?
all these fucking racists.
Yeah, okay, so
We don't hate you. We don't hate
hate
you.
racists.
yeah, we hate racists too.
We love
We
you.
hate racists too.
You got that hat on, you look racist as fuck.
We hate racists too.
You hate racists too, brother.
Hey, after what happened last week, my bad. Wait.
You support somebody who's steady calling.
Wait, 38.
You support somebody who's steady calling a party trying
Is that what you're worried about?
No, he's worse than Joe.
No, is that what you're worried about?
Fuck Joe Biden too.
But you're no, wait. You said you're worried about. You're worried about. Let him talk. You're worried about the guy that died last week. Where was all this?
This guy's pushing and shoving.
People die all the time.
People die all the time. You guys won't come out. You won't come out when babies die, but when a criminal gets shot, people, now that's when you're going to come out. 38 babies in July. 38, yes. Where are you at? I can show you things. Yes, everybody now I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it. What about who's killing those black babies?
Democrats.
Who's killing those black babies? 10 month though. Shot. On the corner of my
Trump.
Trump shot in the south side of Chicago.
For the kids.
This shit started in 2010. This shit started in 2010.
It's not new to y'all. It's on the news. He got kids. The Pope, all that shit. It's all
In
bullshit.
2010, Rahm
Fuck up outta here. Y'all
Emanuel
wanna
shut
talk
down
about-
50 schools
Nigga,
in
the
the
Pope
south
even
side of
fucking
Chicago.
kids.
The following year, there was more murders in the
Y'all wanna
south
talk
side of
about
Chicago
kids? And the
than
Pope
New York or
fucking
LA.
kids,
Combined.
Talking about
So
kids.
what do you mean when I talk about kids? That matters to me.
Bro,
Why does that matter to you?
All of it matters.
Yeah, so why are we burning shit down for one guy, but 38 kids in July? I haven't seen nothing yet. Why are you threatening What for what? Do you want to live in garbage? Do you want to live in garbage? Yeah, why would you do that?
They got one more time to kill a black person.
Okay, wait. Do you know this? Wait, okay. Do you know this? All right, what about, do you know George Parker?
Early. They got one more. Let me get on the news.
You know
Let me get on the news and see another black man dead.
George Parker.
I'm going to show
Yeah. George Parker. Here, guys, here's some news. George Parker, he was killed. No one knows about him. Let me see. Thank you. Leslie King. No one knows. All this Chicago. Wait a minute.
Get him!
Ronald Durr.
Get him!
Wait a second. Oh, no one's talking about him. David Struck. What? How come we're not talking about him? He's 30 years old. How are we talking about Aaron Moore, huh? That was this guy. All July. What we got? Oh my God, this is 17-year-old Anderson. Let me see what else. Oh, we got a 16-year-old. I can't say his first name, but it's the last name Anderson. 16 years old. No, where were you guys? Oh, nowhere. 19-year-old Ambrose. That's me. Look at Ambrose, 17, 15 years old Ambrose, nothing, all July, what else we got? 18-year-old Antonio, nothing, we didn't see you guys there, anything.
The media don't show this. The media don't show this. The media don't show this.
16-year-old, wait a minute.
The media don't show this.
Oh, we got Tanika, 20 years old. All July, hold on, wait. We got Bonds, 20, 20. And all July, wait, who else we got? We got Robert, 19, he's 19 years old, all July, who else we got?
Black Lives.
We got Lauren.
Black Lives.
14-year-old boy. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Hey, David.
Yeah.
David,
Let's talk about Black Lives.
So where are we? Nowhere. Because I'm waiting for you guys. Because I'm down to fight the power too, but if y'all ain't getting out for these people either,
it ain't shit. It's nothing.
This shit is fake.
It's nothing.
This shit is fake and you're being used. Oh, another 18-year-old. Another 18-year-old dead. Another 19-year-old black male, black boy, dead. Before he's 21, 11-year-old black boy, dead.
Where's LeBron?
Where's LeBron?
We're still going.
We're still going. Ain't shutting out for none of this shit. I'm done.
That's some feelings right there.
I love that guy. So
You got it. You just keep jabbing them. Keep jabbing them with truth.
To set the scene a little bit,
They did not
we have
protest
some
for them. They did not stand up for them. There was no black man for them. There was no, it doesn't fit the narrative.
street on
It's
Santa
all
Monica
about
Boulevard.
narrative. They don't understand they're being freaking used right now. You're all about, you got
this man
LeBron
is not a
James.
counter demonstrator.
They do. Marxist organization that wants to tear down the family structure. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we all know that the family structure need a man, woman, a father and mother. And in the black community, we don't have a lot of fathers in the black community, but they want to tear that down.
But this is the same thing that the Democrats did in the 60s.
Absolutely.
When they did the welfare.
Which tore down the black
and
community.
they said, you can't have a man in that house.
We'll give you this check.
Right.
Get the man out there, sell the man for this check. Get this check. Do you want this money? Do you want this money or not? Do you want? And that's what they've been doing. And they've been tearing apart
You know what?
man.
What's really interesting is that years and years ago, during the Depression and everything like that, when the Marxists really
Maybe we come back to that man later. Action in the street. Let's see what's going on. We've got another circle forming. Looks like another argument breaking out between a Trump supporter and a counter demonstrator.
no, the fuck not. So when is black people going around and kill a bunch of people for no reason? Under a cause talking about, oh, we support God, some dumb shit.
In the name of the Father.
Exactly.
At the Democratic Convention, they took out.
Just said the Black Lives Matter with a Black Lives Matter shirt on. Now you gotta make America
They
great
didn't kill him.
again.
I support everything.
Make up your mind.
Honestly, I wasn't.
I remember your face. That's what I'm saying. You were
There's
just at
somebody
one
who
of our
looks like
meetings
him.
downtown LA. You was just
No, but my friend Carl, he's with the LA. And he lives in
y'all better watch your shit by the
That
being
means
informed.
that means that
She was just having a Black Lives Matter shirt on.
writing up a
Now you got that
That's not nice.
bullshit.
Oh, it's not nice.
You went right to
I work every fucking day on Camden. I can still work.
You support somebody who's 30 pounds, 600 hours, touch everybody from every other country.
No, Biden touches little children. Okay?
the Pope touched little children.
Listen,
Y'all pray to him. Y'all pray to
no,
him.
I don't pray to him. I pray to my Father, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
Why does everybody
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Because they want money. Because they want money. Because they're all greedy bastards.
Why do you guys have to separate yourself from us?
Because we don't support bullshit.
But he supports
Like corrupt
Cross that
politicians.
out. Cross that flag out.
Pedophiles. We don't get mixed up in politics.
I know.
We're more worried about a human life
Some friends have been
than some
lying.
dumbass fucking politics.
Trust me. You love everybody. Yeah. You guys, we're really more unity than you think. No, we are. I don't think you guys support abortion. I don't think you guys support pedophilia. Yeah.
How?
That's
How
what we
are you on the
stand
other
for.
side?
Because I'm voting for
Yeah.
your rights.
Yeah.
Because Trump is the reason that these people get.
That's what they're
A
telling
black
you,
man
babe.
just got killed at City Hall.
All
And
these people are racist.
they say it's a
I
suicide.
guarantee you at least 10% of the people here are with the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, God.
Families with the Ku Klux Klan.
Why would somebody...
119 white cops have been killed by a black man
Oh,
last
yeah.
year
Fuck
alone.
about none of that. They deserve it.
5% of the cops
Since
killed black men.
since white people
5%.
want to kill black people, I will kill somebody in a hot second.
But why would they want to do that?
I'm not a killer, but don't push me.
I would
Let
never
me
push you.
ask, can I ask you something, please, sir? Let's just assume that I'm a good man.
Ain't nobody good.
Okay.
Nobody,
You're
not one
absolutely
single
right.
person in this
And I
world is good.
appreciate you for knowing
That's true.
that
We're all
truth.
sinners.
I appreciate you for knowing that truth. But let's just
Yeah,
say,
but y'all are worse.
let's just say,
Because y'all support motherfuckers that go around on the daily.
What is your solution?
Why don't we talk about it?
First off, not supporting it.
Why are you?
That would be the
but why
obvious
don't? But
conversation.
why
No
don't?
brainers.
But why don't you talk about it? Yeah.
The alternative is stay the fuck out of politics.
But it's a reality in our world. Somebody's got to be president.
This shit ain't gonna change regardless who you vote for.
Okay, so then
So why make yourself look stupid voting for somebody?
No, because if we vote for Biden,
So what do you
Talk
want
about
to
it.
happen?
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
want you
saying.
not to be wearing this shit because first off, America should fucking burn.
What does that mean? What does that
Because
mean?
it was built on the back of slaves.
Okay,
And it was stolen
but that's the
fucking
history.
Indians.
But that's the history.
but we made up for that. We fought for that.
This is making us worry.
Look how much has come. Look how far America has come together.
Okay, we have officers walking by, getting applause from the crowd, forming a police line here in the intersection of Rodeo and Santa Monica, with some Trump supporters screaming, "We love the police" and "Back the
God
police."
bless President Trump. God bless the
Quite a few counter demonstrators here as well. Not nearly as many as the Trump supporters though.
God bless the
One woman saying God bless the blue" over the megaphone.
God bless President Trump. We're here for a peaceful rally.
USA!
This man saying, "Fuck the police." Meanwhile, we love cops.
Get your ass here. You should have given me a kid.
That fool fucking come and save your mom, man. He don't even know what to say.
What did he just say?
Right in his face.
Leave the police alone, everybody. Back away from the police. We're having a peaceful protest here. Okay, back away from the police. Leave them alone. Leave the police alone. Back away. We're here to have fun. We're here to have fun. And celebrate America and celebrate President Trump. So let's be peaceful, everybody. We want unity. We want you guys to go do whatever you want to do. Set up anywhere you want to set up for a business.
pushing and shoving between this man right here and the police officers. What's the point?
Hey, don't put your hand on him.
No, don't do that to the cop.
I don't know if you guys could see it, but the man, no, they're shoving again. Man in black shoving police shoving back with the
Blue
police.
lives matter! Blue lives matter! Blue lives matter! Blue lives matter! Blue lives matter!
I am on public.
This officer just pointed spray in this man's face. Now he puts goggles on.
Back off from the police! Back off from the police! Leave
And
the
now
police
the man's
alone!
pointing.
Back off from the police!
Protect the police!
Back off! Back off from the police!
We have a right to be here.
Hey! Shoving again. Oh, spray in the face. Spray in the face.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Sprayed in the face. I'm not sure with what, but this officer has a bottle. The tail officer in the intersection has a bottle, and he just sprayed this man in the face. And now the man is waving at him with a finger to come to him.
You're just screaming.
Yes, I am. I don't know how much of that you guys could catch. The angles are a little difficult here.
You look like fucking shit! You're a fucking bitch!
This man continues to motion for the officer to
You're
come
a
down.
fucking cocksucker!
It's the
You
tall
fucking
officer
cocksucker! You
in
fucking
the middle of the
cocksucker!
intersection.
You fucking cocksucker piece of shit! Go to fucking China!
Come on, give it to me. Give it to me.
You fuck this shit!
Give it to me.
Fuck Antifa! Get the fuck out of America!
What do you got? You got it.
I can't hear what the police are blasting out over the loudspeaker, but they might be trying to shut this down, declare an unlawful assembly or something like that.
Which means to break up the assembly. If you do not
Some
do so,
officers
you will be
now
arrested
holding
and
guns,
to other police actions.
and I hear them
Other police actions.
screaming out people are faced with
Significant
arrest
or result in
if
serious
something
injury.
happens.
Penal Code 409 prohibits remaining present.
All right, it sounds like they're declaring an unlawful assembly.
Just described. Regardless of the purpose, you will be in violation of Penal Code 409. The following routes of dispersal are available. East and west along North Santa
All
Monica.
right, now the officers
disperse
saying to me it's time to leave, or to us.
Time to leave.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
I am Sergeant Solorzano, Peace Officer for the Beverly Hills Police Department. I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. And in the name of
There
the people of the
continues
state
to
of
be-
California, command all those assembled at Beverly Gardens Park to immediately
There
disperse.
continues
which means
to be
break up the
a
assembly.
stare down between this
If you do
man.
not do so, you may be
and
arrested
this
or subject
officer.
to other police actions. Other police
Now they're
actions
both motioning
could
to one
include
another
use of
to
force, which may
approach
inflict
each other.
pain or result in serious injury. Penal Code 409 prohibits remaining present and unlawful.
Stay on the sidewalk. Stay on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk.
Purpose, you will be in violation of Penal Code 409. The following routes of dispersal are available.
Oh, they're already
And
telling
west
us.
along North Santa Monica Boulevard. You must disperse. I'm Sergeant
Now
for the Beverly Hills Police Department. I hereby declare this
there are these two women and this one boy, it looks like, who seem to be pushing the man who's involved in the altercation away from the police. Although now he walks back a little bit and keeps going. Here at the intersection of Rodeo and Santa Monica, with Trump supporters gathered on the northeast corner of the intersection, officers occupying much of the intersection, some counter-protesters walking around over here. The man who's involved in the altercation with police and who got sprayed has headed down this way. And we have onlookers around here.
Start shooting now. Just like you did with the BLM protesters.
There's an attractive sign on that thing.
Start shooting.
I believe this man here in the wheelchair is a counter protester.
Regarding this purpose, you'll be violating Penal Code 409. The following routes of dispersal are available: east and west along North Santa Monica Boulevard. You must disperse now. Master Sergeant Solorzano, police officer for the Beverly Hills Police Department. I hereby declare this to be an unlawful
The
assembly.
vehicle with the loudspeaker declaring an unlawful assembly is right here.
Gardens Park to immediately disperse.
And it's ordering people to immediately disperse the park, which is right over here. And you can see people leaving, walking westbound on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Penal Code 409 prohibits remaining present in an unlawful assembly. If you remain here, regardless of the purpose, you will be violating Penal Code 409. The following routes of dispersal are available: east and west along North Santa Monica Boulevard. You must disperse now.
Thank you, officers. God bless you. Stay safe. Please don't quit.
It looks like the man who was sprayed in the face has at least turned the corner. His group of people is standing one block south in the direction I'm pointing right now, but I don't see the individual who was sprayed. I hear Trump supporters chanting, "Protect the police." Yeah, let's go this way.
What does this say, Rodeo Drive?
Oh yeah, this is Rodeo Drive. Just another day on Rodeo Drive. And this man wheels across Rodeo Drive. Now it looks like
Unlawful assembly.
Trump supporters are heading back into the park. And about what that?
Hi, YouTube.
This man's asking, why are you protecting the Trump supporters?
Yeah, you know your job is fucking big. Fuck you guys. Honestly, fuck you. The unlawful assembly is on that corner. There are fucking like 8 of us here. Get the fuck away from us. You have 2 guns on us. Yeah? Fuck you guys. Seriously, fuck you. I fucking hate you. I seriously hate you. This is disgusting. Fuck all my friends who support me. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Beverly Hills. God damn. Fuck all of my rich homies who haven't done shit to help with the world right now.
Get out of here.
Fuck you. Get the fuck away from us with your gun. Take it over there.
Where'd you go right now?
You're a little bitch. You're a small ass dick. Your wife doesn't love you. That's why you're out here. You have a gun pointed at you. You looked away when I said your wife doesn't love you because you have a small dick. Oh, did she die? Did she leave you? What happened?
The people of the state of California demand all those assembled and Beverly Gardens Park to immediately disperse.
Fuck
which means
you.
to break up the assembly. If you do not do so, you will be arrested or subject to other police actions.
Go over there with your gun.
Police force, which means
You're not doing your job. Where's your fucking name tag? BHPD thinks they're all shit. You guys can do whatever you want, right? Yo, it's gonna be fucked up when the rich people get fucked. It's gonna be so fucked. Rodeo Drive's gonna fucking burn. Move your gun, black man. What is it? Black man, M-A-I-C. How do you spell your last name? B-L-A-C-K. Oh, is that Black Hawk? That's your fucking army vest? Where the fuck is your name tag?
Sounds like there's a MAGA song breaking out on this pickup truck bed driving away from here.
Why do any of those people have guns?
Here's a look at this small contingent of counter-protesters who remain here as Trump supporters now head into the park away from the intersection of Rodeo and Santa Monica.
I just got assaulted and can't get help. So fuck you guys.
Don't tell me you didn't start targeting people until the black people showed up.
You are fucking trash.
I'm not the one.
You are fucking trash. I'm gonna go piss in all the businesses on this street.
It only becomes a violent protest when black people show up.
Yeah, that's the truth.
MAGA can march this shit.
That is the truth.
You guys are fucking shit.
Because they own it, right? No, I don't think so.
You work for Donald Trump.
Whose streets?
Our
streets.
Can you guys even remember?
I am Sergeant Solorzano, peace officer for the Beverly Hills Police Department. I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly, and in the name of the people that...
Are they assembling? Yeah, I know you gearing up to shoot me. I see you. Hands up. Is that lawful? Is that lawful? Because to me, I don't know, because they're all draped in the red, white, and blue. That's lawful?
Annabelle, where's the screaming coming from? The park?
I've seen you everywhere. What's your name, man?
Josh. I've seen you in a handful of places.
I saw you in Palmdale. I was like, wait, what?
You were out Palmdale that day?
Yeah. One of the days.
I've definitely seen you downtown.
Yeah. I've been everywhere.
No one came out to Palmdale that day. I mean, Palmdale and Lancaster people were out in Palmdale that day.
Yeah, they were asking me why I was out there. I was like, oh, getting footage, protesting. And they were like, all right.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to.
Let's go back across the street. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Sam.
Good to meet you. Yeah, I'm going back. Yo, that's a hate group in that park. That's a fucking hate group in a park.
Hey, most officers have cleared out of. Oh.
We're gonna open this up.
Did I catch? I don't know if I missed that fist bump, but the tall officer who sprayed the one black man who was in the altercation with police, he gave an air fist bump to our buddy wheeling away right here.
Wow.
BHPD moves pretty quickly. They cleared out the intersection of Rodeo and Santa Monica in a matter of minutes.
I'm wondering if Yves Saint Laurent is open. Yves Saint Laurent is right next corner.
Whoa.
I'm wondering.
Je ne parle pas français. Well, this intersection looked dramatically different about 5 minutes ago. To reset the scene, I can't believe we're not even 30 minutes into this broadcast. To reset the scene, here we are at Beverly Gardens Park, or is this part even considered part? I think it is, but I'm not positive. But definitely on the other side of Beverly, the street straight ahead of us, That's definitely part of Beverly Gardens Park.
There was a huge Beverly Hills sign. All the tourists always go there and take pictures with a Beverly Hills sign in the background.
So there were all kinds of obstacles in the way of this weekly Trump rally today. When we arrived 45 minutes or so ago, we were told that we couldn't walk into the park and streets were blocked off, and a couple people who were right beside us speaking to the police said they were being told there's a bomb threat. I don't know what transpired with that, but there were a bunch of streets blocked off right around the park here where the rally was supposed to be taking place.
There's a riot near police
Bearcat type police vehicles still here. I apologize about the interruption. What in the hell? Can we plug this in? Why is it doing this? Sorry, I apologize. I'm streaming on Annabelle's phone and still getting used to it as a temporary measure. So I don't know if this Bearcat type police vehicle came out because of the protest or because of this reported bomb threat, which we haven't even confirmed. I wonder if we could take a look at the Beverly Hills PD Twitter feed. Maybe that's going to have some info on it. Yesterday, LAPD made themselves quite available to me in Tahunga and then later at night in Van Nuys. But last week, BHPD right here was not too keen on having any press availability. Last week, some of you may have been tuned in when it happened. Right in this area, underneath this large tree, along Beverly Drive and close to the intersection of Beverly and Santa Monica, brawls broke out at the rally between Trump supporters and counter-protesters. And there were people sprayed last week right in this area where I'm standing right now, and punches were thrown, including a sucker punch that I captured on my feed and is now an individual video on my channel from 1 week ago. More sirens, sounds like, are coming in our direction along oh no, they're not. They're crossing Santa Monica on Rodeo Drive heading north. Let's try to get a gauge at whether this is something happening in the area. Yeah, it looks like it's something in the area. It looks like those police vehicles drove north on Rodeo and stopped at, what is this cross street? Park. So yeah, they're like one block or half a block away in front of me. I'm now pulling up right here around. As it looks like the traffic police are now opening up Park. Is it Parkway? I think it's Parkway. Right in front of me. A bunch of police vehicles just pulled up right there. And you have lots of officers standing and hanging on the sides of a police SUV right here, as well as this truck that says rescue on it that looks kind of like a Bearcat. Annabelle, can you check the Beverly Hills Police Department Twitter feed? They're pretty good with their updates, as this Bearcat type vehicle is now turning right off of Beverly, right in front of us, onto Park. Looks like police are building up a presence on this block right in front of me, which is right around the area where they had cordoned off earlier. And someone was telling us that, oh, there's Culver City police, a Culver City police vehicle pulling up. Last week when I was out here at the Trump rally, I saw obviously Beverly Hills police, but also Santa Monica police, and I believe Culver City police. Here's another Culver City police vehicle. And another Culver City police vehicle. And another Culver City police vehicle. Can we check Twitter? I want to try to see if we can get, or I can even check it. I want to. Can you hold the camera? Hold it for a second, guys. Annabelle's holding the camera.
Okay, I'm wondering where they're going.
Culver City, more Culver City police vehicles driving by.
Beverly Hills police. No, we can't walk down here because it's blocked off, you see? Police line, do not cross. They tell us to stand on the sidewalk.
So Beverly Hills, the Beverly Hills Police Department has already put out news releases saying an unlawful assembly was declared, and that the police have already concluded their investigation and reopened the area of Crescent and Rodeo. But I'm trying to find something explaining. Okay, here we go. This might explain. An alert was issued at 3:29 p.m. saying, please avoid the area of North Santa Monica between Crescent and Rodeo, which Santa Monica's right down here, the major street people are driving east-west on, and we're in between Crescent and Rodeo. And they're saying, they said at 3:29 p.m., please avoid Santa Monica between Crescent and Rodeo until further notice. But they're not explaining what it was. We saw streets blocked off in the area, and one person is saying that there, according to police, was a bomb threat. I guess we have somewhat of a Trump drive-through rally now, or no more driving when the traffic police hop in front of your car. I guess no more driving and honking. If I describe what we've been seeing for the past 45 minutes or so in 2 words, I think I would say organized chaos. There have been all kinds of moving parts, including a sizable Trump rally with some pretty animated counter-protesters, lots of arguing, and even pushing and shoving between police with their batons and a counter-protester. And that all got cleared out very quickly in a matter of minutes. There's also whatever this issue is that's having streets blocked off in the area. Now it looks like some of the Trump supporters have returned to the park. There's an unlawful assembly declared here by Beverly Hills Police. They ordered everyone to leave the Beverly Gardens Park area, which right here, this is Beverly Gardens Park. Oh, okay. Now, so now we've got counter protesters back across the street. Someone with a "Dump Trump" sign, and I don't know if I can read the other one, but so we have some Trump supporters moving back into the park with a couple tents set up again.
Okay, it says
and
real,
tables. Or what does the sign say?
The other sign says "Real Beverly Hills housewives support Black Lives Matter."
Now that's a catchy sign. All right. So we have two counter protesters across the street. One with a "Dump Trump." What does that say? Rodeo? Or no, what is it? Dump Trump, Biden, Harris. The other sign, Annabelle, says "Real Beverly Hills housewives support Black Lives Matter." Let's see. Let's go see if we can talk to them. One thing that's a constant is police vehicle traffic and sirens. Those have not let up during this broadcast. This Santa Monica police. I think I forgot to mention earlier that there were Santa Monica police here last week. Yeah. So we've got Beverly Hills police here. We have Santa Monica police here. We have Culver City police here. And do we have another agency? Am I forgetting one? Possibly. And no let up of the police traffic. Yeah, someone has a "Real Housewives for Black Lives Matter" sign, or a "Real Beverly Hills Housewives for Black Lives Matter." Let's try to cross the street and see if we can have a conversation with her. There was someone sprayed in the face by police about 20-25 minutes ago.
And it was pepper spray. Because,
do you know for sure?
Yeah, for sure, because one of the police officers told me, "Go away, lady, because, we might pepper spray him again."
All right, well, I don't know. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in Portland.
Hey. What about you? You're supposed to be in Portland. Portland's better than this. Jacob's Zone TV has showed up, but we can bring him on a little bit. Let's see. I'll explain in a few moments. Now there's a "Fuck Donald Trump" song playing. Excuse me, I'm live on YouTube. Would you mind popping on for a minute to explain your signs and say what brings you out today?
Yeah, we're here against the Trump supporters because we believe in humanity and we don't stand for his hypocrisy or his policies, and we want our side to be represented as well as theirs.
And your sign says "Dump Trump, Biden, Harris."
And then on the other side, we support Black Lives Matter.
And why are Biden and Harris a better alternative to Trump and Pence?
Because they care. Because they care. Straight up, they care. They, they're human. They have experience. They've dealt with politicians before. Biden and Harris would not necessarily be my first pick, but they're the human pick. And we need to, a vote against them is a vote for Trump, and we don't stand for that.
What do you think of the situation here in Beverly Hills with the weekly rallies and the confrontations?
It's disheartening as a Beverly Hills local. I don't feel like it represents the community the way that it should. I mean, we're in Los Angeles, we're in a liberal bubble, I understand that. I can say safely that a lot of these people are not from this community, and it's sad to see that they're here and trying to, incite a response out of people in a negative way versus a positive.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And what about you? Would you like to explain your sign?
I'd like to know more about your YouTube channel before I speak about it.
Oh, you said you wanted to think more about it first?
I want to know what YouTube channel it is.
Oh, my name's Josh Friedman, and I'm live on the Josh Friedman YouTube channel.
Yes, and you have a position on your channel?
Yeah, it's my personal channel. I'm a reporter. I travel around the world making news reports, and...
Yes, but do you have a position, like CNN is liberal?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have a political position? I try not to. I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Pence. I mean, I'm not voting for Biden. I'm not pro-Democrat, not pro-Republican. I like to think I'm classic journalist, if they exist anymore.
Okay. Where would you like to know?
I'm sorry?
Okay.
Would you? You've got a catchy sign. Would you like to explain your sign?
Because this is what Beverly Hills represents. These people are not from Beverly Hills.
You're saying the people are not from Beverly Hills?
The majority of these people here are not from Beverly Hills. Okay? Maybe the people driving by honking in support, some of them might be from Beverly Hills, but these people are not from Beverly Hills. It's Garrett, that they make my city look like it's a place that does not support Black Lives Matter, does not support democracy.
Does not support what?
Democracy.
Democracy. Oh, okay, so the Trump supporters here are not supporting democracy.
Not my opinion. I think that democracy gives them the right to be here, but supporting Trump is not supporting democracy.
Okay, so just because it's so loud, I'm repeating it. Democracy gives these people the right to be here, but supporting Trump is not supporting democracy.
Correct.
All right, thank you very much. And that's an interesting sign you've got. Thank you.
I'm a Beverly Hills housewife. I support Trump.
Wait. Can you say that on camera? She said she's a Beverly Hills housewife and she supports Trump.
I have it on camera.
I can't. They honk so much.
I got it.
I'm gonna need 5 microphones with all the honking. I was remarking yesterday how it's becoming the norm for everyone to presume that all media is on the side of the Democrats or the side of the Republicans, or fall along some sort of ideological divide. The park is filling back up, so what, this unlawful assembly declaration lasted 20 minutes or something? I don't know. But back across Santa Monica Boulevard we go, and back to a Trump rally that is resuming. Well, MD, it's my job to get people to speak. Not that I'm gonna go out of my way to make up a whole bunch of stuff in order to do so. Let's take a look at what we have. Along Santa Monica Boulevard by Beverly Drive, we have a Trump rally that was broken up resuming. We have this barricade that, at least last week, served as a barricade between the Trump side over here and the Black Lives Matter, or whatever you want to call the counter-protester side over there, with police in the middle. But right now the barricade is open. There are no police right here in front of the Beverly Hills sign. Are there some counter-protesters walking by? Who?
Kindness 2020.
Kindness 2020?
Yeah, why is that so fucking hard to understand? Kindness 2020. Listen to the other person's opinion and then respectfully show your side of the story. Everyone has opinions. Kindness 2020. Like, I don't get it. Why are we just like hurting each other? You know? No one, it's just, there's no respect anymore. Kindness 2020.
How do you think it might change? What's going to bring about kindness in 2020?
Nobody's gonna do it, but if we did, then maybe we wouldn't be bombing each other and hurting each other and creating just more murders and more. And I'm sorry, but anybody who's murdering anybody is a problem. End of story. The fact that it's like divided into different categories of like, well, that murder is okay and that one's not. No, all of these people that are hurting another human being are not okay. Like, anytime that we're just disrespecting human beings, like I'm voting Biden, I'm a Democrat, I'm a liberal, whatever. That doesn't mean I have to hate somebody who's voting for Donald Trump. It means you have to listen to them and try to understand why they're doing it, so you can kind of show them your side of the story. And because if I want to, like somebody was saying, there's bomb threats and shit. I'm sorry, if I'm bombing somebody because they're voting for Trump, I'm hating somebody, I'm hurting somebody because they're voting for Trump, then I'm just as fucking bad. And if they're hurting somebody who's voting for Biden, then they're just as fucking bad. Kindness 2020.
By the way, I'm trying to figure out, what did you hear about the reported bomb threat?
There's a bomb threat, and then this guy goes, this one guy was like a Republican, and he was saying how fuck the Democrats, blah, 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 and how disgusting the Democrats are for putting a bomb into the park, which first off, they found out is not true. It was suspicious activity and it wasn't happening. So he was saying fuck the Democrats. People are saying fuck the Republicans. He's sitting there spreading rumors about Republicans trying to murder people. Republicans or Democrats trying to murder Republicans when it didn't happen. And it's just like people are just trying to spread rumors to get clout, to make the world more divisive and hate one another more. And it's just like kindness fucking 2020. You know? It's just know your facts, and that's not a fact. I just talked to a cop.
Osama bin Laden for president.
Honestly, that's what it seems like is going on.
He said Osama bin Laden for
Yeah, that's
president.
what seems like that's what people sound like they're fighting for. That it's people, yes or no, Osama. Like that's not even remotely what's happening. I mean, Trump is the fucking worst in my opinion. But like, that guy wants clout more than I do. It's crazy.
Biden supported segregation in the 70s.
Can I just ask, are you okay?
Biden literally smells kids. Like, what the fuck?
They're both fucking terrible people.
Okay,
They're both terrible people.
Yes,
Biden's worse though. He smells kids.
Biden is a ball tickler. I'm not trying to.
Have you seen the things that Biden does for the gays and for the women of this country?
He supported segregation in the 70s.
That one is.
The 70s and the now are different.
Doesn't fucking matter. You can't erase your past.
People, you can change it. It
ask,
doesn't erase your past. You can learn from
We're
it.
just afraid that we're afraid of being Republicans. Do you hate people that support Trump?
I hate people that support constant hate in the world.
Okay,
Trump
so you
supports
hate yourself
constant
then.
hate.
So you hate yourself?
That's fair. That was a good point. You know, you get points for that one. You get good points.
That's our opinion.
It's destroying me that people are just constantly hating me.
That's what some people could think about you.
Everyone thinks about you. Fuck politics. No one 2020.
I'm not even.
We don't need a president. Anarchy is better. Follow you on
consider
YouTube.
myself somebody who
What's my name?
I'm the last protest. Okay, thank you.
I mean, typically I lean towards something more democratic because my principles more generally lie with having the population do good things, such as I believe in having public health care. You've never paid bills before, so you don't really understand how much.
I don't support either Trump or
Obama.
I don't either, but I have to pick somebody.
I would rather pick Trump than Biden. Just because he supports Trump.
Okay, what?
You'd rather support who?
Okay, I understand that, but there are so many problems with Trump that one piece, which I agree, I'm Jewish as well, and I would love to support Israel, but when there are as many problems, such as all of the things that he's done to hurt people that are trans, hurt people that are gay, allowing it to just hurting people, hurting women, hurting everybody that isn't a white male.
So that's not necessarily true.
Do you want the facts? I got
Who said white male? Whoever said that.
Everything Trump said it. Trump said
Everything.
it himself.
Okay, so he went online. He said, "Oh, I only support white males."
No, but it's
show
actions.
me one thing.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so I've got a list.
Oh, give me a list.
So here are the things that he said against women.
Against women?
Against women.
Yeah, against women.
Against women.
The things like Biden has done in his past
Temple
were like...
Taggart, a former Miss Utah. I'm gonna wait until you decide to listen and choose. And I'm very much ready for you to rebuttal me, but I do need you to listen to this for a moment.
I'll listen.
Temple Taggart, a former Miss USA, Miss Utah, said that he kissed her twice on the lips at the Miss USA pageant against her will.
Okay, and
that's
how,
sexual.
Okay,
that's sexual.
You have no proof of that. How do you if Biden did the same thing?
Yeah, Biden fucking sucked. You're right.
Biden's.
Yeah. Wait.
Find me proof of that.
Okay.
There's a video of him sniffing a little kid.
How don't you know that someone, a Democrat, paid the girl to say that? How don't you know? Can I ask if there's video evidence, I'll believe it.
Let's do Andrew
I'm
Yang 2020.
too busy and I really have to pee, so I don't want to continue this conversation.
Can I just ask who is your
I had to pee
ideal?
the whole time.
So you're scared
Who's
that
your
ideal?
No, I'm going to pee in my pants if I say
Look at this
Who's your ideal president for 2020? Is it?
They're both fucking horrible. My ideal president. No, because he's too so.
Oh, that striptruck.com is blasting out.
What about?
Fuck Donald Trump as he
Mike
drives
Bloomberg?
down Santa Monica Boulevard.
I actually was interested in his campaign because he wasn't getting private funding off of somebody else, which means that he was really, I mean, I didn't get enough into that campaign and debate. And first off, he came in way too late where he's like, oh, maybe I should do it.
He's coming right now. I don't agree. I agree that everyone is able to have their own opinion. I just feel like right now.
I think that every politician is crooked as fuck.
That a lot of Democrats, and I'm not trying to. What are you gonna do with it?
It's live on YouTube. You can ask this kid.
I follow him.
Apparently he knows.
I watched 4 hours of your YouTube channel.
Josh Friedman YouTube channel.
Do you have like a huge following that people are going to be like, wow, that girl's an idiot? Because I know that anybody who has a different opinion to anybody.
Wait, am I going to be on
I don't know whether anyone's going to say you're an idiot.
I'm afraid to say that I'm a Republican because they'll call me racist. Yeah, same. I
go also like Republican.
I go to
First
one
off,
Jewish school.
Yo, wait. You have 7,000 subscribers. It's pretty good.
Man, is he live right now?
Yeah.
Toda rabah.
Yo, he's filming me. What's up?
Yo.
I don't know. I just really have to pee.
Like we had an interesting conversation, so thank you.
Look at him.
It's just so wild to me that people are so choosing to be either Democrats or Republicans instead of time, and looking at facts, and looking at how people treat one another, and the fact that we chose two literally mean, horrible people that are really just politicians, that are just manipulative people.
The only reason Joe Biden has said that.
Yo, I can see myself on the live.
And all I'm saying is I make pop music, and if you want to actually see some joy in this world,
you can
I'm going to shamelessly plug myself right now.
Plug when people can hear you. Say it again.
My name is Dia Morgan. If you want to not think about the fucking psychoticness of every human being, and you want to like steer towards being good yourself, because honestly, all kindness starts from like self-peace, and then you can spread peace from yourself to other people. So like, if you want to be happy for a moment, go listen to Dia Morgan.
Where do people find you?
What?
Where do people find you? Instagram, YouTube, Sound.
This woman just touched me.
All right, this is
under the age of 18.
too much clowning around and trolling at this point. All right, if you,
I'm literally not a Democrat.
If you want,
I just want peace in the world.
If you want
every politician's crooked.
If you want to plug your music somewhere else, oh, now we've got water being thrown out of the car. Oh, bottles being thrown. Water bottles. Well, another day in Beverly Hills, or another Saturday afternoon in Beverly Hills. Annabelle. Trump 2020.
Oh, and then the other side. That was for the walk away.
You want to explain your walk away sign? I'm sure much of the audience understands it, but some probably don't.
To be honest, I didn't care about politics until COVID hit. Probably, I don't know if I've ever voted for my life. I think I registered many years ago. I registered, guess what, to legalize weed. How young that was I? So that was probably 30 years ago or less. But I was a registered independent. I don't think I ever voted on a president in my life. Sort of sad. Until COVID hit, and guess what? My whole eyes are wide open. And then my friend told me about the walkaway movement. I was registered as an independent. Now I'm a proud conservative Republican. And guess what? Trump doesn't win. America as we know it will never be the same. So we got to save America. That's what I'm here for, is to save America now. No sleepy Joe Biden. He needs to go. And we know that he will not make it. And then Kamala Harris will make it. If Kamala Harris doesn't make it, guess who will be? Nancy Pelosi. So you Democrats better wake up and vote red.
So you're not walking away from the Democratic.
Well,
I mean, you personally are walking away from being an independent to a
Republican.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Because the trend in California has been the opposite.
Yeah, Democrats going in.
Well, Republicans
to,
going independent.
Yeah. Well, you know what I had to figure out is when I opened up to vote, you know what it said? I didn't vote because I was registered as an independent during the primary. So then a few months ago, I realized, you know what? I've got to stand back and vote red and be a Republican. And today, I just went to Joe Collins' event, and he's a Republican, and he's going against Maxine Waters. She's going to lose. We're taking it back. California, I believe he's the 43rd district. Joe Collins for Congress. Mayor Williams gonna be, and also I'm working the recall for Gavin Newsom. He must go. We're gonna support Major Williams for a major change in California.
And how legitimate of a chance is there for Newsom to be recalled and for Maxine Waters to be dethroned?
Well, you know, she's pretty old. We need some new young blood against Maxine Waters. And regarding the Newsom thing,
sorry, we've got a guy flipping off a car, people screaming out of cars. All right, you're Newsom and Waters.
Newsom. Okay, Newsom has to go. Every day I carry this backpack. Every person is a target. I am going to get all the signatures I can. I know we need 2 million, but we want 2 million signatures because they're going to throw out a bunch of votes. They're cheating us right now by the registrar's office being closed, appointment only. But we are going to defeat you, Newsom. You are going down, 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 down.
And Maxine Waters?
Oh, she's gone.
Yeah, but
she's going to be floating in the sea.
But
she is going to be.
She's been in there for how long? Why is she going to lose this year? Just playing devil's advocate.
Oh no, I know, but he's got to win. Joe Collins. I mean, we respect the military. He's a 13-and-a-half-year Navy veteran. He's got a winner. I mean, he is taking on the community. He is in the community. Let me just tell you, he is all over it. I mean, from feeding the homeless, to feeding the community, to giving kids school supplies. He is all over it. Where's she at? Probably in her cozy, wherever she lives, you know, living in the lap of luxury. But we need some new blood in politics. And he's the one. Right? You tell him, right? We need some new blood. And guess what? Ivanka 2024.
All right, thank you.
No Newsom 24, let me tell you, because that's what his goal is.
Well, that could be the race.
But you know what? If we get him recalled, there is no way. California right now is a laughing stock. I have friends all over the United States, and they are laughing at California. How dare he keep us shut down like this? And you know what? Republicans are no longer silent. Let me tell you that. We are no longer silent, right? No longer silent. We are not the silent majority. We are loud and we are proud. Let me tell you.
His name remained because he was excellent president.
Trump is excellent president.
Be proud of him, and he admires me. He is the best.
I'm struggling at times to hear you over the loudspeaker. You're saying Trump is an excellent president and
excellent president than other president, and his name supposed to be in the history remain because he's excellent president.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Peggy's gonna be here.
Oh. The rally ended in an unlawful
Who could disagree
Assembly
with this?
Declaration. Can you explain your shirt?
Very simple. Everybody is over it. Everybody's tired of fighting, okay? If I hear you matter more than me, you matter. No, none of you matter. Shut up. It's like a father saying, you go to your room, you go to your room. Enough.
So, no lives matter, everyone sucks.
Yes.
And you are Eric Gold?
Yes, sir.
You've got something to plug? It looks like you've got a t-shirt operation.
Yes.
Do you sell these shirts?
Absolutely, I do.
Where can the viewers buy them?
Find me on Facebook.
All right.
My best-selling t-shirt, in fact, I've got it on the table. It says, "Stop judging women by their tops. Backsides matter."
Are there any comedy clubs open around here during COVID?
I don't do comedy clubs. It's the people are drunk there. Drunk people don't buy stuff. I'm a capitalist. I want to make money. And if you're a socialist, I'll sell you a socialist t-shirt. I don't mind, because I'm a capitalist.
All right. Eric's got a sense of humor. As I was saying, the Trump rally ended in an unlawful assembly declaration, and, well, let's get back to that in a moment.
And I made it multicultural so I can bring everybody together.
Sir, are you running for Congress?
I am.
Would you mind doing an interview in a minute?
Sure.
Did we catch the front side of this beautiful?
Whether you're black, Jewish, Hispanic, backsides matter.
The water buffalo escaped the zoo.
All right, creative.
By the way, that guy does not speak for any of us.
What's that?
That guy in the green bandana does not speak for any of us. He's nuts.
I've interviewed him before.
He's
I met
nuts.
him at. I'm not here to. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge anyone.
I understand. I'm just saying he does not represent us.
I don't know who represents whom at this point. Is there a quiet, semi-quiet spot around here?
Beverly Hills sign is.
Yeah, let's do that in front of the Beverly Hills sign.
Yes.
I think his name is Eric Early, but I need to look that up.
Okay, she got one too.
Oh, you got a ticket too to get on the boat?
I'm going to.
Oh, you have to. There's only a couple left.
No, that's the other candidate. What's this guy's name? I forget.
Because 10 came in while I was last round.
I forget his name.
I sent you the link to buy it.
67 were taken this morning. 10 were
No. If you want to give me your point of
Quick question. What's the name of the congressional candidate?
Errol, E-R-R-O-L, Weber, W-E-B-B-E-R.
Thanks a lot.
Look, if somebody's a plumber and I'm a doctor, I don't care what.
All kinds of shirts for sale here. We've got capitalism on display along Santa Monica Boulevard, right in front of the Beverly Hills sign.
Shooting for yourself.
I am live on my YouTube channel, Josh Friedman YouTube channel. Would you like to pop on? We'll do a quick interview. All right. What brings you out here today?
What brings me out here today is humanity in regards to what's happening, what's going on in modern day. And I heard about the rally. Came out here to be able to actually be at one to see exactly what's happening. Not to mention, I'm starting a movement myself.
What is this movement you're starting?
It's called the One Hope World Positive Communication. We're getting ready to launch January 1st. That's the most positive communication.
Is there a political affiliation to this, or are you here because of all the disagreement and arguing? Explain the positive
disagreement and argument been going on for the last 100 years or so. Not specifically for that, but because of the negativity that is going on in the world, it has actually increased. I grew up in the Vietnam era, and so I started this movement, One Hope World. Hope, an acronym, would stand for one, helping other people excel worldwide, starting with number one.
All right, that's the One Hope World.
And like, whenever the anti-heroes are doing their anti-heroes, we gotta just like, yep.
This, I believe, is Errol Weber, a congressional candidate. I'd like to do an interview with him.
And it's the worst if you're being ignored, right?
That's because what they're asking for is the attention.
Of
And
course.
if we keep bringing it, hello, how are you? And if they
Then you
keep
get these
bringing it
beautiful streamers right here, document.
Yeah, well, I'd like to do an interview with you. I know you're running for
Louis
Congress.
Friedman.
Josh Friedman, you're
I'm
close,
sorry.
yeah.
Are you connected to the mayor of Beverly Hills?
No.
No. His last name
I'm not
Friedman, too,
connected
is
to
fine.
any of the famous
Wait, is
Friedmans.
that an
As far as I'm aware.
Okay. Okay.
Could we step over here where it's a little quieter?
Okay. What's going on?
Which All right, we're about to be joined by Errol Weber, congressional candidate.
You don't want to go to Denver?
I'm interested in going to Denver. I've been to Portland a couple times, Seattle during CHOP.
So what's going on?
Well, I think my audience would like to hear that question.
What's your audience?
That question posed.
I have no problem talking to liberal or conservative audience. I just want to know what's your audience.
I personally am neither Republican nor Democrat. I think my audience, my audience tends to be more anti-establishment and a little more conservative. I think, but you know, I'm not 100% sure about everyone tuned in right now. We've got all kinds of people tuned in who I don't know who they are. Anyway, please introduce yourself.
All right. Well, for all of you online, thank you so much for watching. My name is Errol Weber, the Republican candidate for Congress in California's 37th Congressional District. For those who don't know where that district is, it's everything from Beverly Hills to Inglewood. So we have neighborhoods like Culver City, Miracle Mile, Mid-City, Century City, Mar Vista, Palms, Baldwin Hills, Ladera Heights, Leimert Park, View Park, Crenshaw, South LA, West LA, Cheviot Hills. So pretty much right in the middle of LA. This district is 25% white and 25% black and 39% Latino and 9% Asian, with an average median income of about $46,000 a year. And it begs the question, how does a district that has these affluent neighborhoods in it, how do we end up in a situation where the median income is $46,000 a year, and you can't tell me with a straight face that a normal human being can live a decent life at less than $46,000 a year, which half the district is living at? When a normal human being in California to live a halfway decent life needs to make $80,000 to $100,000 a year. We ask ourselves, where did this come from? We ask ourselves, how did we get here? And this is what I want to talk about. If you want to understand how we got here, we have to look at the context of history and what led up to this. So you look at 1930s to 1950s with redlining, economically shutting many of our communities of color out of being able to own property and build generational wealth. You have the 1950s and 60s with segregation of schools. And then you have the 1980s through 90s with the war on drugs and mass incarceration, ripping black fathers out of households, creating more single motherhood, marrying more single parents to the government through welfare. And then you see how a poor public education system with a poor economic system coupled with mass incarceration, you are just setting up whole communities to be destroyed and to self-destruct. Now, how do we go about fixing this? First thing we need to do is we need to work on education, because you cannot be handing out money, whether it's in a grant or if it's in a low interest federal loan. You cannot be handing out money of any sort without a sound financial backing of how to use that money to the best of your advantage, because we cannot make more Americans comfortable with the idea of just taking money every month from other taxpayers and living off of it. That is not the American way. We are about individual rights. We are about individual liberties. We're about individual responsibility. And because of that, it's incumbent upon each American to make the life that they need for themselves and for their family, taking the initiative. But first, we need to make sure that we work on education, not just education on topics like math and English and science and investing, but also on information on voting records of the people who we vote for. Because what has happened, especially in my district, is that many folks When I ask them who is their congressperson, their state senator, their state assembly person, they can't tell me who their elected officials are, but then half the respondents tell me that they voted in the last election. Now you tell me, do you think that's a wise thing for people who do not know who their lawmakers are or what they vote on to then go to the polls and vote against their own best interest over and over again? So then you ask yourself, the 37th congressional district has been voting Democrat since 1994. Why? And one of the reasons why is because there's widespread debilitating voter ignorance. Now, of course, I'm not going to place all the blame on the constituents. We need to make sure that we are teaching civics in our school. We need to ensure that we're teaching the Constitution in our school. Make sure that our youngest people understand how this country is formed, how this country operates, and how they can make a difference. It is not enough to just be civically engaged when it's time to vote. You need to be civically engaged every day of the year. You need to know what your lawmakers are voting on, because otherwise they will continue to make destructive laws that hurt your family's life when you're not looking. Under the cover of darkness, they will continue to make these laws. For example, they hurt police-community relations by signing into law Assembly Bill 392. They hurt the ability for you to make and own your own small business by implementing Assembly Bill 5, so now you can't be an independent contractor. They hurt your ability to take charge of your medical freedom with Senate Bill 276 and Assembly Bill 499. They strip you of your ability to know what is being taught to your kids when they implement things like Assembly Bill 329. These are some of the things that Democrats have been doing over and over and over again. And if we don't wake up, what's going to happen is we're going to lose our medical freedom, we're going to lose our economic freedom, we're going to lose our education freedom, we're going to lose our financial freedom. And it is important for everyone to get involved, learn who your lawmakers are, learn about the issues, and also vote on your conservative held beliefs, because so many people have been voting against their conservatively held beliefs all these years. Like, you see them go to church, they profess their love for God, they profess all of these beliefs of being an upstanding citizen, and then they go and vote for the Democrats who don't care about that. Like, you have small children being taught all kinds of nonsense in school, and you're gonna go vote for that Democrat? Is that part of your conscience? Are you gonna allow your child to learn this stuff? Are you gonna allow the business that you spent all these years to build to be destroyed by leftist policies and or the destructive nature of anti-American groups like Antifa and BLM? Are you really gonna go down that path? So one of the things we need to recognize is that we have conservatively held beliefs, and if you want to see America get better, you need to vote on those conservatively held beliefs. So, what am I about? In short, I'm a small business owner. I've owned many small businesses in my life. I am pro-small business. What does being pro-small business mean? We need to lower taxes any and every way that we can and reduce regulations to incentivize keeping businesses in California, bringing businesses in California, and repatriating businesses back from other countries that left because the businesses couldn't keep their operations going in the US because the regulations were too high. Last year, I read an article that 1,800 businesses left California last year. You have to think about the long-term ramifications of this. If 1,800 businesses leave California, it's not just the business owners that left. Think about all the employees who used to work for those businesses. And think about all the employees who used to be the breadwinner in their families. Now, that breadwinner is suddenly out of a job. And now, even more families edge that much closer to the poverty line. And then you wonder why we have a homelessness situation that goes from 52,000 one year to 59,000 the next year to now 66,000 this year. This is how you create bigger problems, by creating these ridiculous, overbearing business regulations that hurt businesses. And sometimes it's like environmental regulations, sometimes it's business taxes, and there are many different contributors to how this happens. But one of the things we need to recognize is that we need to find new ways to reduce taxes and lower regulations so that businesses can thrive.
We're speaking with Errol Weber, candidate for Congress in the 37th Congressional District here in California. Who currently occupies that seat?
A communist named Karen Bass.
And are you running against Congresswoman Bass right now?
I'm running against the communist Karen Bass because I'm an immigrant from Jamaica, and when you come to America, after 5 years you can apply for citizenship. And when you apply for citizenship, there's a there's a question on the form that says, are you a communist or associated with a communist party? And if you are, it will preclude you from becoming a citizen in the United States. So how is it that newcoming Americans get precluded from being an American citizen but if they're a communist, but we have a communist in office? Please explain that to me. So, like, it is one thing for me to like conject that she might have some communist tendencies. I'm sorry, excuse me, but going to Cuba 8 times and becoming radicalized and then coming to the U.S. and making the South LA branch of the Vince Ramos Brigade, which was also responsible for radicalizing all the groups like the M19 that bombed the U.S. Capitol back in 1983. You really think that that group has anything good about it? This is a person who is tied in lockstep with the Communist Party, and you want to have them stay in office? So I need to remind you guys, do some homework. There's a little piece of legislation called the Communist Control Act of 1954. Read it. And then I want you to see how unfit for office Karen Bass is. And then I want you to read the Civil Rights Act of 1866, and I want you to see how we can get rid of her. Read particularly Section 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1866, and then read the 14th Amendment. If you read those 3 documents, your eyes will be open and you're like, wait a minute, why on earth are we letting this communist stay in office? So the Communist Control Act of 1954, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, and the 14th Amendment.
To go back to policy,
yeah, let's go back to policy. Because I already got to small business.
You're discussing, it sounds like you're frequently discussing bringing business back to California.
Yes.
And, okay, the Democrats control the state legislature, yes. They control the governor's mansion. And you're discussing how Democrats are causing businesses to leave California, if I'm understanding you correctly. How if elected to Congress, how are you going to work with a Democratic-controlled Sacramento and bring businesses back to California?
Question. So we have to recognize that there are federal laws, state laws, and then local initiatives. And the reason why I delineate them is that sometimes people come up to me like, oh my God, we have potholes on the road. Can you fix the potholes? I'm sorry, I'm running for a federal office. That is for your local officials. Now, oh my God, like we have too many people dying on the road due to car accidents. That's a state level issue. Oh my God, we have police-community relations. That's a state level issue. Federal office issues primarily deal with national security. That is our primary job on the federal level. And if you really think about it, if we don't do a good job at addressing key federal issues, it will have a negative rippling effect on state level issues, especially when it comes to quality of life. So when you ask yourself, oh my God, why do we have a shortage of affordable housing? Well, you have to also take into account that we have lax federal policy that allows anyone to come into this country and displace American citizens from accessing the already scarce affordable housing. Like, you also have to ask yourself, why do we have such a big drug abuse problem? Well, if we are so lax on federal policy when it comes to border security, then in addition to the drugs made in the US, then that creates greater loopholes for people to bring drugs in by submarine, by ship, across the border, on the tunnels, and through cars. And then that creates more accessibility to drugs for people who are already self-destructive on the street, being homeless. So if you want to solve many of these local level issues, we need to first recognize that we need to do a great job on the federal level and secure our country. Securing our country is not anti-American. Securing our country is not anti-immigrant. Securing our country recognizes the importance of having security for our citizens so that they can make the best life for themselves. It is not about being hateful of the other. The other thing we need to recognize is that as a country, we're coming upon 6 months of this COVID lockdown nonsense. Right now, businesses are bouncing back. We need to make sure that we give every business and give every business owner, and new prospective business owner, the best shot at bouncing back. We need to prioritize all of our resources, our time and our energy towards making American citizens whole, making American citizens thrive, so that we can we are able to better serve at some point in the future.
What should Congress do to allow American business businesses to bounce back during COVID?
Okay, first thing they need to do is they need to end this stupid lockdown. Yeah, here's why. We have tens of thousands of people who die of the flu each year. But for the past 20, 30 years, we didn't shut down the country every time someone died of flu. But you know what they're doing right now with coronavirus? They're waiting until we hit 0 coronavirus cases to reopen the country. Meaning the country could stay closed for years. And then, oh, we're just gonna give everyone free money. It's not free money, they print money, which drives inflation. So do you really want a country where we are printing money and driving inflation and no one has a job and everyone's living off the government teat and the dollar is worth nothing? I filmed a documentary in Zimbabwe in 2008, where I got to Zimbabwe June 2nd of 2008. $1 US was worth 870 million Zimbabwean dollars. The next day, that same dollar was worth 1.5 billion. It lost half its value in one day. The next day it was 3 billion, 5 billion, 7 billion, 12 billion. By the time I left Zimbabwe, $1 US exchanged for 2 trillion Zimbabwean dollars. Do you want to live in a country where your dollar devalues so fast that the supermarket clerk has to change the price on the loaf of bread every 4 hours because the cost of that bread goes from $8 million to $9 million in the space of an hour? Do you want to live in a society like that where there's a fuel shortage and a food shortage? No, I've been to enough socialist and communist countries in my documentary career to know that socialism and communism is garbage, and we need to push back against it.
Do you think Federal Reserve policy is fueling inflation or even potentially creating hyperinflation here in the U.S.?
Them being so amenable to printing more money and infusing more money in the economy can drive that inflation. What we need to do is we need to get people back to work, making their own living, and also it is okay to start businesses back up while implementing healthcare safeguards to ensure the health of employees and patrons. You do not need to shut down all of society to stop a virus. You can be safe about it. So that was just one platform plank, being pro small business. Now the next one is we need to be pro fair trade. We've been taken advantage of by other countries for way too long, and we need to make sure that we are implementing trade policies that benefit Americans and that we aren't getting the short end of the stick. Then we need to make products in America and bring businesses back home. We learned through COVID that over 170 different prescription drugs are being made outside of the US, particularly in China. Now, if you remember in April, late April, early May, China was actually holding back exports of some of the drugs that they make for America, for export to America. Do you want to give leverage to another country like China, leverage over our health? No, you do not. So we need to incentivize bringing businesses back to the US, particularly businesses that create products that are life-saving. Then another thing, I'm pro-economic freedom. I mentioned I'm a small business owner. Well, you see, while I'm campaigning for Congress, I found a great way to make money, and it was to work in the court system. There was a particular job that I could do that would pay about $1,200 a day, which is not bad. But here's a problem. I'd be working as an independent contractor, and Assembly Bill 5 just killed that job industry for me. So now I can't work as an independent contractor and make $1,200 a day. Now here's the other problem. I know that there are many other people who work as independent contractors who got messed up and got the short end of the stick because of this. Well, here are some other things that we need to do. In addition to getting rid of AB 5, we need to ensure that all Americans across all states maintain the right to choose what type of personal economy they want for themselves and their family, whether they want to work for an employer or they want to work for themselves. Now, I'm pro-religious freedom. We just saw over the past 5.5 months that California's governor and LA's mayor have been clamping down on churches. And we see churches getting fined $10,000 for opening their doors and for people singing in the churches. And you ask yourself, hold on, don't we have a constitution? Isn't there like a First Amendment that says we have the freedom of speech and press and religion and assembly and to redress our government for grievances? Like, don't we have that First Amendment? Why are we allowing the state to infringe on our First Amendment? And then on top of that, oh, let's infringe on the Second Amendment. So here we have leftist sheriff Alex Villanueva releasing thousands of inmates from Twin Towers. You have Governor Newsom releasing thousands of inmates all across California, and then simultaneously trying to close the gun stores so you can't buy a gun and defend yourself and your family from the thousands of criminals who have no regard for life from hurting you. Does that make any sense? So now here's another thing. I'm pro-life. I believe that all life needs to be protected at all stages of life. And it is not up to any other individual to determine what the value of a life is or whether they deserve to live or die. Now, the next thing is, if you start parsing it out, people have tried to sidestep the 14th Amendment's equal protection clause, that equal protection that protects people, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You see, what the Democrats have done is that as long as they can dehumanize an unborn child, they can then justify not granting it that same 14th Amendment equal protection. And that is how they've been trying to get around this issue of pushback against abortion. So, now, what are some other things? I'm pro-medical freedom. We have seen throughout COVID that many different private and public entities have been trying to make a vaccine for the coronavirus. Whether or not there is a vaccine for the coronavirus, I believe that all American citizens should retain the right to choose what is best for the health of themselves and their families. I believe that all Americans should have the ability to speak to a medical professional about what is best for them, and under that advice, they can then choose what's best for the health of themselves and their families. But at no point should someone be forced to take a vaccine. Vaccines can exist, but it is up to the individual to choose what's best for them. What else is
I
there?
have two final questions, and they relate to us being at a rally right now and some stuff going on around here. So you brought up earlier, but very briefly, you just touched on Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Can you please share your thoughts on those two groups?
When you look up, I'm actually going to do this live on camera for you guys.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it because of the glare.
I'm just gonna read it to you. I'm gonna read it to you.
Okay.
So I have a dictionary app on my phone. Continue. And I'm gonna type in the word terrorism. Are you ready? This is the dictionary definition of terrorism. The use of violence and threats to intimidate or coerce, especially for political purposes. By that definition, Black Lives Matter is a domestic terrorist organization. And I am not shy about that.
Can you give examples of the threats and coercion?
I will give you an example. It personally happened to me. 2 Fridays ago, I went to Tahunga, California for a freedom rally that happens in front of the In-N-Out Burger, and all kinds of American patriots come out. We had the Unity Bridge come out, the Trump Unity Bridge come out. And you know what happened across the street? We had almost an equal size number of BLM and Antifa come to this rally to picket. And then I was like, well, these are people who vote. Let me go talk to them. So I went across the street to go and talk to these BLM and Antifa people. And I walked up to a black guy, and a black guy in all his BLM gear told me to my face, you better get out of here, I'm about to punch you. I'm like, hold up. So you're about to hurt a black guy at a Black Lives Matter rally. Does that make any sense? So here we have the left going, oh my God, we're so inclusive. Oh my God, we're so loving. Oh my God, we're so tolerant. And then I go across the street and they're not tolerant and they're not loving and they're not inclusive. And I, as a black guy, feel threatened at a Black Lives Matter rally. Why? If I'm a black guy and you're saying Black Lives Matter, I should be able to walk up to you and have a conversation with you. Why can I not? Now, what ended up happening at that event was that we started having even guys in wheelchairs on the BLM side start socking people on the Trump side, and then the police was there, thankfully, and they started dispersing with tear gas and all that. But like, if you're trying to say that Black Lives Matter, are you getting your point across by maiming other people? Are you getting your point across by turning a blind eye to every other form of Black lives not mattering to the black community? When it comes to crime statistics, when it comes to 40 years, 50 years of abortions across America. Are you really gonna look me straight in the eye with a straight face and say that Black Lives Matter when you turn a blind eye to 20 million black babies being killed, 46% of the black population being killed off since 1973? Really? You're gonna say Black Lives Matter? Are you gonna say Black Lives Matter? It's like, oh my God, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, and then 50 people get shot in Chicago every weekend? And then 5 to 10 die every weekend, and you're gonna say, oh, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Do they really matter? Do they really matter to you? Because if they did, we would be up in Chicago protesting all of that killing. If Black Lives Matter, we would be ensuring that we instill the structure of a two-parent household so that the conservative values that many of these people have would pass on to their children. These conservative values that guide them to not unwisely have children out of wedlock and go down this path of single motherhood or single parenthood. To be upstanding citizens who work a great job and pay attention in school and make a life for themselves and don't go down the school to prison pipeline that so many people go down. But we also have to recognize that it's generational. I can't place the blame on any singular person because this has happened generationally. And if you see young children, 15 years old, 16 years old, going astray, you have to ask yourself, how did they get there? They got there because probably their parents weren't properly prepared to train them in the way that they should go. And then sometimes there are single parents who are working multiple jobs to make ends meet. And now who is training their child, who is raising their child when they're at work and the child is at home? It's the streets that's training that child. And you wonder, how do we keep all of this life of crime perpetuating? It is single parenthood. It is a lack of a good education. It is a lack of morals being passed down from generation to generation. And that is why we need to push these conservative values and let people know that, hey, it's time to start voting conservative. It's time to start voting for religious freedom and start voting for economic freedom so we can become investors in our own community. It's time to start voting for medical freedom so we take charge of our family's life. It's time to start voting for education freedom so that parents can choose what education is best for their child, whether it's a public school or a private school or a charter school or homeschooling. Education is that great equalizer that gives every American the opportunity to succeed on their terms.
All right.
These are some of the things that I'm pushing.
Lastly, you're wearing a 45 squared hat. That's calling for Trump to be reelected, right?
Exactly. You got it.
And your thoughts on Trump and why he should be reelected?
I am Trump's biggest supporter. Arguably, one of Trump's biggest supporters. I host rallies for the guy. Now, people, they ask me, oh my God, you're a Trump supporter. How can you be a Trump supporter? Excuse me. I came to America to realize my definition of the American dream. My definition of the American dream encompasses many of the things that President Trump touts. Being pro-small business, pro-fair trade, and making stuff in America, bringing jobs home, economic freedom and religious freedom to do what I want with my life, being pro-free speech and pro-Second Amendment, and being America first in our policies. These are all things that Trump supports. These are all things that the Republican Party supports. These are all things that I support as an immigrant who came here to realize my definition of the American dream. So of course I'm going to support President Trump 800%, 900%, 800,000%, doesn't matter. I'm going to support President Trump, and everybody else who pushes back against me, I'm going to let them know about the policies that are undoing all the damage that the Democrats have done, especially in the 37th district for the past 30 years. 30 years of inactivity, 30 years of atrophy, economic atrophy in the district. 30 years of a poor education system with a 77% high school graduation rate, a 35% college graduation rate. Is that acceptable? So we have to go in with our conservative values and make sure that we bring an educated electorate to the polls so that they know what's at stake. This is a consequential election in 2020, and I'm looking forward to everybody's support. I'm going to do a plug right now. I need you guys to follow me at Weber2020.com. Again, that's Weber2020.com. I'm looking forward to your support, folks. We have a lot of work to do to make sure that this country continues to thrive and continues to be a beacon of hope for everybody else around the world to look up to and go, oh, this is how we do freedom. This is what freedom looks like. And I'm looking forward to your support as we push that.
All right, Errol Weber, Republican candidate for Congress in California's 37th district. Thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that interview went on a little longer than I expected, but enjoyed that nonetheless. Bit different talking policy than than watching people duke it out in the streets and the riot squad come in and people getting pepper sprayed in the face and whatnot. Okay, I've been monitoring comments. Elaine, thank you. Hope you enjoyed the interview. Probably some of you were more keen on the action in the streets with the police and the bomb threat if there was one, and the pushing and shoving. But we'll recap that. We'll recap that later. Again, this rally ended temporarily. There was an unlawful assembly declared by Beverly Hills police, and the rally ended, and the tents and everything here were packed up, and people headed on out of here. But now a lot of people have returned. Not everyone. The crowd is significantly smaller than it was before the Beverly Hills Police Department declared an unlawful assembly at a time that there was all kinds of interaction. Not actually, I was going to say all kinds of action here in the street, but actually it was on Santa Monica Boulevard, one block ahead. It's in the intersection of Santa Monica and Rodeo Drive. This is Beverly. This is Beverly right here. We do have those two counter protesters whom I interviewed maybe a half hour, 45 minutes, or maybe an hour more ago. I forget already. It's been a while. Those two counter protesters remain, but the core group of counter protesters, I believe, has left, or have they, Annabelle?
Yeah, there are only two left. And we already talked to them.
What about what's going on over across the barricade? I saw people, granted the barricade is open, so it's not much of a barricade. Alright. Yeah, so last week the setup was such that you had Trump supporters on this side, counter protesters on this side, and police standing in the middle right here in front of the Beverly Hills sign. But the walkway is open here, and it appears that we don't have any counter protesters, just people taking photos in front of the Beverly Hills sign. Lots of horns honking still. That's been a constant, as I'm sure you've heard. People are trying to figure out how to spell your name.
Oh.
I'll let you plug your channel right now. Go for it.
Okay, my channel is Romika Annabelle, Romika, second word, Annabelle, Annabell, without an E in the end. You got it, right?
And I'll put the link in the description after this stream ends and video processes.
Yeah, you can find, some footage on my channel from last week, Beverly Hills. So check out the latest two videos.
And if you haven't seen what I filmed last week in Beverly Hills, I'll again recap what happened a week ago when brawls broke out right over here next to and underneath this large tree. Brawls broke out here 1 week ago, and some people were sprayed. There were punches thrown, including one sucker punch that I filmed, and that punch was thrown right around here. And you can find that video, or you can find that punch in a separate video on my channel. We've got the guy on the microphone who I interviewed last week at the the Save the Children's March. I think he screamed out fags for Trump at the end of my interview with him. He's got a green, what's that on his head? Shirt?
Is it a t-shirt? What is
T-shirt on
wrapped
his head
around
or
his
something?
head?
I don't know, but he's got a megaphone or a bullhorn, and he's shouting stuff out at vehicles passing, and I don't know, maybe other directions as well. There have been lots of cars honking, but there have also been people peeking their heads out of windows and getting in screaming matches with Trump supporters here. Seen some middle fingers, definitely on the rally side toward drivers, probably vice versa. There was, what was that big truck that drove by with the Fuck Trump song playing? I missed it, but yeah, so this event attracts a lot of attention, and you know what, let's pull up the Beverly Hills PD Twitter feed and see if we can get, or just maybe Google News it, let's see if we can confirm that there was a false bomb threat here in Beverly Hills today, early on during the demonstration. I'm still trying to confirm that. Can you type in something like Beverly Hills bomb threat Google News? As I pan here in front of the Beverly Hills sign, we're at Beverly Gardens Park along Santa Monica Boulevard. I'm not sure how long they've been going now, but there are weekly Trump rallies here on Saturdays. Last week it got a bit violent, and then today, as this part of the park was closed off because of whatever threat there was action one block down that way, over in the intersection of Santa Monica and Rodeo, including pushing and shoving between officers and a counter-protester, and at one point an officer sprayed the counter-protester in the face. I'm not sure if I managed to capture that on my footage. I'll have to figure that out later, but I clearly saw that he was sprayed in the face, and that individual was pushing at least one officer, maybe more, and officers were pushing back with their batons. Hold it for a second.
Okay, you can read the sign, open schools.
Have you signed a petition to recall Gavin?
I'm a journalist. I don't sign petitions.
Oh,
but you're more than welcome to explain why we should recall Newsom.
Oh, well, number one, because Gavin Newsom is not doing anything positive for California. I have a daughter who is a school teacher. She teaches history, and she sees how it's affecting the kids not being in regular school. So I agreed to come here to help her make people aware, number one, that schools should be open, open up our schools. And then second, to encourage people to recall Gavin, because almost everything he's been doing is unconstitutional. He just thinks that he can just, sign this paper and everybody should comply. He's ignoring the legislature. He's just doing everything like he is the king of California, and yet they point fingers at Trump saying that he's a tyrannical president. Well, they're showing us what tyranny is with Gavin Newsom and all these other Democrat mayors and governors in the blue states. That right now, that's all you see: looting, rioting, destroying property. Where is it happening? It's only in blue states. So basically, yeah, we need to make people aware. And Gavin Newsom is one of the worst ones. You know, he doesn't want to open up the schools, even though the scientists has already indicated that kids need to be in school and they're not as vulnerable to that COVID-19 pandemic. So what is the purpose? You know, what is the reason? Just because he wants to. And all these teacher unions, my daughter is not a part of the teachers union, but she's being encouraged to, you know, hate Trump, and teachers are telling people, I mean, horrible things that kids should not be learning those things in school. Seriously. So I'm here to support my daughter.
What are examples of what kids are being taught in schools that they should not be?
Well, the reason why is that, number one, there was one teacher that I heard about who apparently is telling kids only watch CNN. And you know what CNN and MSNBC does? All they do is 24/7 hatred for Trump. Hatred is a tyrannical president. Trump hates Mexicans. I'm Mexican, and Trump hates Mexicans. Trump is a racist. That's all they're teaching kids, and that is not what teachers are being paid for. And the teachers union was telling the teachers all to vote for Bernie Sanders. And my daughter says, well, I'm glad that I'm not part of that union because they shouldn't be telling us how to vote. You know, this is a free country. You vote your conscience. So yeah, and Gavin Newsom, like I said, now he wants to go and repeal Prop 13, which protects the taxes, the taxpayers' property taxes. They've been trying for years to do away with Prop 13. I'm a property owner. I'm retired. If my taxes go up, it's gonna go to the point where I won't be able to keep my home because I'm on Social Security. And my taxes have doubled already in the last 10 years, my property tax, because they have all these social programs. And this Newsom, he spent all these millions giving free medical care to illegal immigrants. Now he doesn't have money to pay for the unemployment for all these people that are unemployed due to the pandemic. So you tell me that he's looking after us, the law-abiding, working citizens of this state? No. He's, he's catering to the illegal. And I don't have anything against immigrants. I'm an immigrant myself, but I came here legally, okay? I obey the law. I came to contribute. I didn't come here to see, handouts. Give me, okay? A lot of the immigrants now, they come here just for that. They want free healthcare, they want free college. Look at all these DACA people, marching on the streets and attacking people that are against illegal immigration. I mean, how are we going to keep our country safe unless we close our borders to illegal immigration? That's why they hate Trump. Well, no, I'm not going to hate Trump. My family is not going to hate Trump, and we're not going to vote for people that do not protect our country. So basically, yeah, I'm here because I do want the schools to be open. Children need to be educated. Children need to be in school. And basically, also, I want to save my home. I don't want taxes to double or triple to the point that I'm going to have to sell and leave the state. All my family is here, but many people are doing that. They're living because right now, if you're retired on Social Security only, you're going to end up homeless, So that's the reason. We have to get these people out. If they're not going to work for us, the voters, and the hardworking, law-abiding citizens, why do we want them there? Sacramento is full of communists and socialists and
Trump 2020.
That's why we can't. We have to fight against that. And we're not going to fight by punching them on the face and pushing them and yelling obscenities at their faces like they do to us. I mean, last week, we've had these rallies for 4 weeks in a row. Last week was the first time BLM and Antifa came and they disrupted, they attacked, they disrupted the whole thing. The police came in droves to try to stop the fighting. They're attacking us physically. We don't need to do that. We march on the streets peacefully. We state our message. We try to get people to listen to us. And that's how you do rallies. And that's how you do, not protesting, just going out there and telling, how you feel and why people should be aware of what's going on. And really, that's all that I have to offer. And I hope people listen. I'm an older person. I want to leave my state better than I found it. I want to leave my country better than I found it for my children and my grandchildren. That's all. I don't want to go out there and start punching people in the face and making them afraid to. No, that's not the way. That's not the American way. We have free speech, and we have to be brave enough to go out there and express our thoughts and our feelings without being afraid of being attacked or even killed. Look at all the people that have been killed by all these Antifa people and all these Black Lives Matter. They're so concerned about Black lives, and yet they're killing more people of Black color than the police supposedly have killed. So their message is totally demonic. I'm sorry. And that's all I have to say, and thank you for listening to me.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
What do you think about online schooling? That a lot of children are going now to school online on Zoom.
My daughter is a teacher for LAUSD. She teaches history, and she says she feels so bad for all these kids that did not have computers or the equipment necessary. So a lot of them were left out. Now this new semester starting, they're trying to provide for everybody. But last semester, she was crying for the kids. She felt so bad for them. She says, Mom, they're being left out. It's bad enough that the schools are failing a lot of kids. But now with this new online, it's even worse. That's why she's pushing for open schools. Open up the schools. They're not in that much danger. And if they practice the proper, health directives, they're going to be fine. And that more people are recuperating from the pandemic. So there's no reason, really viable or believable reason why we should keep kids locked up. So that's basically why I think they're hurting the kids more, I think. And I'm here because that's our future. Our kids have to be educated, especially in civics. The reason why we have all these Antifa and Black Lives Matter is because kids in colleges and universities are being taught to hate the country, to hate everybody who doesn't think like them. Where does that come from? That's not our country. That's not our history. Free speech and freedom of religion, freedom of speech is why we were created as a country. So no, that's why I'm here, and I'll keep coming here. I don't care if Black Lives Matter comes here. I'm gonna keep coming and expressing my beliefs and why I love this country, why I love our president, why I love teachers, why I love police officers. And it's up to us, to the adults, because the kids, they don't know. I'm sorry. So yeah, thank you so much for
Thank you
listening.
so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow, this is a large, this man's carrying a large flag. We have some dogs out here. Yes.
Are you representing any kind of news, or is it just your own information?
Right now we're live streaming on my YouTube channel. I write for a news publication called Cal Coast News.
What?
I write for a news publication called Cal Coast News, like California Coast News. But this is just on my personal YouTube channel.
Oh.
My name's Josh Friedman.
Oh, nice to meet you.
JOSHFRIEDMAN. And if you type that into YouTube, you'll find my channel.
Josh?
Josh Friedman.
Friedman.
Yes.
Oh, good, good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I appreciate it. God bless.
I see one of our viewers is saying she is fantastic. I didn't see the majority of the comments during that interview. Sounds like someone else calling for opening schools.
Don't put my thing on Facebook or anything, because I didn't sign anything.
I don't need it. There doesn't need to be a waiver. I'm allowed to film in public.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Well, sir, you shouldn't have come on the broadcast if you don't want to be on. I didn't force you to come on here.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, man to man, that I don't want it.
I'm telling you that I'm filming in public, and I actually asked you whether or not you wanted to come on.
And you didn't tell me exactly who you were. And you didn't tell me exactly.
I didn't coerce.
And you didn't tell me exactly who you are.
I let you come on my broadcast and promote your organization. Anyway, yeah, I mean, that's just outright bizarre. Why this man is claiming I need to sign some waiver. Anyway. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, that guy's, I don't know what to say. Good luck. Figure out YouTube and social media in the year 2020. Things are calm, at least compared to last week right now. There are people screaming a bit and horns honking, but I don't see any counter-protesters. Well, even the two across the street have left. So yeah, that man has an I Love Global Warming shirt. That man who just came on is now pointing at me. Good luck to him in understanding the First Amendment and media law. Let alone a little common sense, considering that I didn't coerce him to come on the broadcast. Here's a Trump truck.
Open those schools, folks, open the schools.
United we stand, back the blue, MAGA.
Thank you, man and rest.
Trump forever. Vote red or kiss America goodbye. Oh, this lady's screaming 4 more years, the one driving this vehicle. Oh, there's someone driving. So we have the vehicle behind the truck, driver screaming 4 more years, and then the vehicle driving beside the truck, someone's sticking her arm out and flipping off the Trump supporters. No, we're live on YouTube. And a 4 more years chance begins or resumes. By the way, at the beginning of this broadcast, very beginning, there were arguments between Trump supporters and counter-protesters. No fist fighting like last week, but there was pushing and shoving, as I was saying, between at least one member of the counter-protester side and police officers. have a collection of different flags out here now. What? Oh, is this the lady from yesterday?
Josh Friedman.
How did you pop up here?
Where are you coming from?
So we've got the Jews for Trump lady. One of them, who we saw in Tahunga yesterday. She's out here. One flag looks like it's got Armenian colors, but I don't know what part of that flag is. It's like we have a Mexican. Is that a Mexican flag? We've got a whole assortment. And there's a Trump flag. It looks like at least a few vehicles are making laps around the rally. The one with a Trump flag that just drove off in this direction also has two American flags hanging out the back. Yeah, it looks like one American flag, one thin blue line flag. Annabelle, what does your gut say? Do you think counter-protesters are coming back?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
I think it's dying down. Because they were already basically kicked out by the police. And one of them got pepper sprayed or whatever.
Say no to Creepy Joe.
I gotta. This woman's.
Grab her by the pussy, baby. Grab her by the pussy.
Who?
Sleepy Joe or daughter fucker? Which one you want?
Oh, shit, I don't know.
Sleepy Joe or daughter fucker? Just another day on Santa Monica.
Say Sleepy Joe, I say Creepy Joe.
Okay, so she's calling me an idiot. I guess Creepy Joe or daughter fucker. There's a Trump car.
With their free street drive-by.
Okay, we've got officers back here. Looks like Beverly Hills PD officers on bicycles. I don't know if they're here for a rally or something else though. And I still have not gotten any confirmation about this reported bomb threat. No pedophiles in the White House, please. That's the comment. 818-699-WEED. You see that? There's a little open roof van driving by. It looks like a mini tour bus.
They're driving around.
I think it's an opportune time to take a look at comments. Where? Where? Oh. How do you know he's Black Lives Matter?
I don't know if he is.
He's just filming. Here's Beverly Hills PD. Thumbs up from one vehicle. Hang loose from another thumbs up. Santa Monica Boulevard is becoming a place you drive on a Saturday afternoon or evening to declare your political affiliation. Oh yeah, he was on the truck. Or what vehicle was he on? I don't remember. I was about to say it's an opportune time to take a look at some comments. For instance, Love writes, California is tired of being sick and tired they're voting Republican this year. I don't think that the state of California, that Trump's going to win the state of California, or there's going to be any shift in the legislature away from Democratic control.
What's going on over there?
Ross JD writes, so Josh, we've heard Democrats claim that Republicans are trying to kill them today, and Republicans claim Democrats are trying to kill them. I'm Josh, not Joseph. No problem, yeah, that's me. Oh, very nice. What's your name? Pleasure to meet you, Mona. Would you like to come on the broadcast or no? It's so loud right here. Why don't we walk down this way a little bit? No one's gonna hear anything if we try to talk over these honking horns. Oh, wait, hold up 1 second, Mona.
Fuck you too, motherfucker! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump, motherfucker! I saved the Marines, man! I did my 4 years, baby! I don't give a fuck neither, motherfucker! Fuck Donald Trump, nigga! Fuck out of here! Fuck you, bitch! Fuck out of here! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck all that bullshit! Fuck it! I did my 4 years, baby! Mad about what? He's still your president. So? And what? You talk about running policy? Talk about policy. That's cool. I wouldn't if I know you would. Capitalism every day. I mean, it's America. That's what we all want. But I mean, come on. This guy's not dividing the country. Come on. He's not dividing the country. Give us some facts. Come on. What facts? The whole fucking country. Tell us. It's not the media. It's not the media. I mean, it's all of us as people. We're all arguing, man. Come on. Me and this guy literally saying, fuck you, fuck you. We don't even know each other. Over some guy we don't even know.
What is this lady's problem?
I don't know.
I don't want you to get beat up today.
I never said fuck you.
I'm gonna keep protecting you.
I
do have a right.
I don't even know you though. I mean, I should have said it back to you. I mean, I'll admit that. I shouldn't have.
We don't hate her.
But I mean, come on. I mean, why though? I mean, come on.
It's not about hate. It's
He
about
also
failed. He failed America.
He did fail. He bombed fucking innocent civilians. But we also.
And he had a better response.
Do you think Donald Trump is better than Ronald Reagan? You think he was a better? I mean, come on, really.
That's a different era. You can't compare it because right now we have the era of big tech.
But we also know that when we're laying people off, that people are losing jobs. So when people are saying that we're making more money, people are losing jobs off of that.
Man, it's hard to say that because in March that we added
American Airlines. They said we added it. We said we did. American Airlines just laid off fucking 30,000 workers.
That happens all the time. They lay off people.
They make money. They make money though off of it.
They lay off people and then they hire people and then they hire. That's capitalism. Like you said, you support it.
I do support capitalism. I also support small businesses at the same time. Because as a small business owner, but that's what this country doesn't support.
Then why loot this? Why lead a riot then?
He doesn't support this.
You don't have to loot a riot.
He's not been looting. You need to know yourself where the tax cuts coming from. Well, listen, don't get it twisted, bro. I do well. I'm a cardiopulmonary therapist. But I also know, and I know that we cannot go full-blooded capitalism. Where we're at, bro. I just came from downtown LA. Motherfuckers are pissing in the streets down there, bro. People are pissing. Oh, fuck Biden. Fuck Biden. Where's the Libertarian Party? We cannot have a third party in this country. That's the problem. We're stuck on two parties.
Republicans versus Libertarian.
Well, why not three? Why not have
Democrats right now are part of a socialist insurrection.
But dude, did you not? I literally just came from downtown. Motherfuckers are pissing in the streets down there, bro. I mean, what the fuck?
That's Democrat policy.
That's a Democratic policy. It's basic humans, though. We're out here fucking arguing with each other, fighting with each other. It's human nature. Why can't we all just fucking? I mean, literally though.
All of you piss in the streets. That's constant. Piss in the streets. Chicago, this street.
Right. Well, I understand that also democratic cities. But the background problem is this, though. As a basic human people, that's the problem. We have people dividing us. Media, fucking government, richer people. I mean, I don't even know. I don't like to say. I don't know. I'm not from the neighborhood. I don't know.
Do you want to help the people? You want to help the people?
I understand that.
If they work for you, you want to help them.
He has both. He has everybody. Every businessman has failed and successful.
I think my issue is this: is that I came through here and I said it myself. I said, "Fuck Donald Trump, never won. Fuck none of y'all, because I don't know none of y'all. I would never tell any one of you fuck you.
But it's all about love.
Because we're all humans. Fuck that dude, though. I'm not telling you straight up. And I'm just like you would say, fuck this guy. Or fuck
You're
this guy.
introducing the hate into a love movement.
The oppression. Everybody says that he's racist, but nobody can say what he did.
I wouldn't say Donald Trump is a racist. I would say Donald Trump is a fucking spoiled little bitch. Because his life that he's went through, ain't none of us went through that life. I mean, I don't know none of y'all, man. I know that I worked my ass off. I know I just worked 60 hours this week, and I didn't make shit. He doesn't
try to float above us.
They're already taking now 35, but who's saying anything?
That's Democratic California, bro.
And I'm with you, bro. Fuck Biden. Fuck Kamala. But why, as people were out here on the streets,
I was libertarian in college.
I
was libertarian in college, but the spectrum moved, and it became, if you're libertarian, basically, if you support capitalism, you have to support conservative side right now. The left is embracing.
I can't be a conservative because I believe that people should have basic freedom rights. I'm gonna carry my gun. I'm gonna carry my weapons. But at the same time, I don't want to see some. I watch the mental health situation in this country is fucked up. The mental health down here is so fucked up. People are out here screaming. They're pissing in the streets.
We need a silence.
They're pissing in the streets. Where's the mental health work? Where's the money for mental health? Why are people pissing on the buses? Come on, bro.
Have you seen the mental health situation?
Yeah. They did take the mental health away.
Wait. I'm a nurse. Have you seen the mental health situation in this area?
That's what it's all about. It's basic people, man. We're all Americans.
Hold on.
Here fighting about some
cousin.
Do you all think that is appropriate?
They really don't care about.
Do you all think that is appropriate? No one cares.
For a civilized country to
They don't care about it.
Yeah, for a
We're out here
civilized country.
fist fighting with each other, cursing each other out.
They
And what?
have
Going
these
back to our
people
shitty
living in
existences,
tents
man.
and pissing
Trying to
on
make
the
a dollar,
street.
trying to survive.
Tax money should
I'm from Virginia. I ain't from this
Street,
place.
pooping
This
in
place
the
is
street.
burning my
It's just
pockets
not
up, bro.
appropriate.
I support.
Every time I go out
tax
and
money
eat or
going to
something,
house
it's fucking
them.
burning me up. I can't even get a place. I mean, I can imagine living here.
You go touch these people on the streets, ask if they want to be in the streets. If they want to be
They don't want to be there.
So that's the same.
They need high quality mental health.
How is it bringing jobs back if companies are claiming that they're losing money, making their black profit, and then cutting people out? How is that even? How are people? American Airlines is one of the biggest ones. They literally just post a profit and cut people.
You need people that want to.
I just flew in from Virginia, brother. The whole plane was filled up.
The way that they were before, because the way the media.
No one's going over here to these other things, man. No one's going over to these other countries. We're all flying internally. And I'll be the first to admit it. This virus is very real, but it has turned into a political thing. This virus is very real. I assure you.
But today, the CDC just again manipulated their numbers.
So that money.
Would you say it was manipulating numbers, or they just trying to produce the numbers out there for the people?
They did, but they lowered the numbers again. They lowered the numbers again.
You said they're manipulating, but are they manipulating or they're actually?
All the fact that they said that they dead already. clothing.
No one's saying that. There's a difference. Listen, it's a virus, just like the flu. It's a virus. You're gonna get sick, whether you have a comorbidity or not. The basic problem is this: we're all out here saying fuck you, fist fighting with each other. Who gives a shit? We're all Americans. Why are we fighting with each other?
People are fist
I mean,
fighting
listen,
because
I'll be the first to admit I do not love President Trump. But I love this country first. I spent 4 years in the Marine. I took a bullet for this country, bro. I'm an American veteran. No, not even like that, though. Not for that reason. But with that being said, I'm not gonna fist fight my fellow American because of some piece of shit. Not saying him. Two pieces of shit. Biden is a piece of shit, and to me, Trump is a piece of shit. And the reason I say that is they don't give a shit about none of us. Me and that guy right there just cursed each other the fuck out over somebody we never met, bro. That's how they're dividing this fucking country.
What politician does this shit about us?
None of them. That's what I'm saying. We all need to come together as a people. We're worried about a national, our local leaders, like you guys said, California. It's the local leaders that are fucking up California. Not Donald Trump. It's the governor, the state senators. These motherfuckers that make the rules, bro.
Let me ask you about
but as Americans, we all need to come together, not say fuck you to each other, man. Not say that. So, you know, I mean, that's just me, bro. I mean, like I said, you know what?
Bro, we're about the Constitution right our business. Freedom of speech.
But you know, as well as I do, the Constitution was made a very long time ago, and times do change. Just like viruses, times mutate, things change. No one wants to get rid of the Constitution.
I do the Second Amendment right so much that when you go as a tyrant, when you go as a tyrant,
I got caught up in it. It's easy to get caught up in it, though. You know why? They want us to get caught up in it. They want us to curse each other around and fist fight because you know what? They're protected. Ain't nobody getting to those motherfuckers, bro. We're out here going home nursing wounds and shit, bro. But you know, hey, you know what? The fact of the matter is, we're all Americans. And we all need to come together for the greater of the country, whether it's Trump, whether it's fucking Biden, Harris. This shit's getting out of control. But we all know, end times, the rapture says it, Revelation says it, the end of the world's coming. So it is what it is. But you know what? Live long. God bless Trump and God bless Biden. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? We're all out here. Hey, you guys take it easy, bro. All right, you guys. Hey, man. I'm available. Yeah, too, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. It's all about love. All about love.
It's a nice moment. Some handshakes, fist bumps, a hug, and agreement at the end of that argument. Ended much differently than arguments that took place a week ago right here, which ended in fist fighting. We do have now 4 Beverly Hills, I assume Beverly Hills, I'm not positive, 4 police officers looking down on the crowd from across the street. What's her name again?
Mona Montgomery.
This man just doesn't get it.
Excuse me, sir. You're here over talking about me.
Sir,
don't do that.
I'm not even here to film you.
No,
I'm trying to have a conversation with this woman.
About me.
Yeah, I said you don't get it.
I'm saying something. I'm not talking to you. Don't film me. I'm telling you right.
I'm
going to tell you real politely.
Hey, he's grabbing. You are grabbing. Get your hand off. Get your hand off my wrist. Get your hand off my wrist. It's a public place.
You got good footage.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Josh Friedman.
Josh Friedman.
Yeah, this man just grabbed my wrist, which is. I don't even. I'm not even here to interview this.
Very politely, quiet.
What the hell with this guy? All right, now he's pointing at Annabelle, and what a distraction. Where's the lady? There she is. All right, you want to have a conversation? Let's go somewhere. Let's go somewhere where we can hear.
Right? If somebody
I literally.
He said you're a propaganda tool. And I said, well, that's wonderful.
I literally asked him like a couple hours ago whether or not he wants to come onto the channel. Onto the video. I didn't force him. I didn't even plead with him. I just asked him, do you want to do an interview? And he did, and he came on and just talked about his own organization. Just plugging his own organization. And then we walked away. And then he starts throwing a fit at me and making up stuff about how I need to get some waiver in order to film him. So he clearly doesn't understand the law. And I don't know where his common sense is, because I didn't pressure him, I didn't coerce him. And then on top of that, I let him promote himself and his organization on my stream. And now he wants to try to use, you actually physically grab the camera out of my hand.
She gave me some insight into what his objection to you was, which is very silly. She said you are a propaganda tool.
He can have that opinion.
But
Even if I am a propaganda tool, I'm allowed to film here. Just as he's allowed to demonstrate here, voice his concerns about whatever here.
Darn it. Now
Anyway.
that little tiny fight.
Motorcycle officers are back. Sorry, this is you. Would you like to introduce yourself, or do you have anything to say?
My name is Mona Montgomery, and I live in Glendale, California. And I've been watching Josh's live streams for a couple of weeks. And I got interested today, and I came down as fast as I could as soon as he turned on the live stream, so that I could meet Josh. And here I am.
Wow, what an honor. Pleasure to meet you, Mona.
Thank you. And we just had a little fracas with a guy who got crazy and tried to grab Josh's very expensive equipment.
Not so expensive, but I'm holding, just so people can understand, I'm holding some sort of selfie stick that's stabilizing the phone.
Attached to a battery.
Yeah, and a battery pack attached.
Right. And it live streams on YouTube.
Yes.
So there's some police on an elevation.
Yeah, we've already pointed them out. What are your thoughts on everything going on in the world?
I'm wild about Trump. I'm very strong pro-Trump. And I do not believe in the virus.
Maybe we walk a little farther this way, because there's just so much honking, I don't know how well people can hear. But someone says, love Mona, so at least your name came across.
And that's why I came here, was to be with fellow Trumpsters.
Let's do it right here. Right here. You can stand right here. Just closer, please. Okay, what you were just saying, why did you come here, Mona?
I came here because I feel so isolated from other Trumpsters, and I know that this is the place to be, so this is where I came, to be with other people who support President Trump.
Isolated in Glendale, or isolated in general?
It's hard to find places to congregate with people who are sympathetic to Donald Trump.
I think you can on Fridays in Tahunga along Foothill Boulevard, although that might be a little too risky if you're trying to avoid clashes with counter-protesters.
Well, I love the clashes with counter-protesters. I like to talk to them and debate with them.
Have you gone out to that event or other Trump rallies?
I didn't quite make it to the Tahunga event. I have discovered it. And let me repeat what you said so I will remember. It's Friday night. I know where it is.
Friday afternoons on
thank
Foothill Boulevard, right by Lowell Avenue.
Right.
But yesterday, the counter-protesters, for the most part, didn't show up.
Oh, too bad. Yeah, well, okay. That's okay. I mean, that guy was interesting. That black guy, he, not that smart, but at least he did talk to us when we asked him to. He came stomping through here saying, fuck Trump, and it ended up with a little conversation. That's good.
That was actually a very nice moment at the end. I don't know if you saw, but he was fist bumping and he hugged someone, and that the arguments between Trump supporters and counter protesters don't usually end that way. That was a nice moment.
Yeah, it's fun to debate. It's fun to debate because I really, you know, I have my ideas pretty well developed. I'm pretty good at arguing my point of view.
So what's your case for Trump's re-election? Why should the U.S.
Well,
re-elect
I
Donald
always
Trump?
want to re-elect a president. I even voted for Obama just because I want I want the president to know where the bathrooms are located, and I figure it takes about 4 years to figure that out. So at least they're oriented after 4 years.
So regardless of policy, regardless
yeah,
of the direction of the country, you'll vote for an incumbent.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But Trump, no, I love Trump. He's very unique. I like his personality. That's basically why I love him. I love the idea of the wall. Like most of the people that jumped on him, you know, that got excited 4 years ago, it's because it was time to talk about the immigration problem, and he did that. And every time he says something, I say, "Oh my God, why didn't I think of that? He's always ahead of me."
What's one example of that?
I knew you were going to ask it. I can't think of it. Let's see if I can. Where are we at today? No, it's a fair question, and I can't call to mind these moments of revelation. But let's see, what kind of policies do I like? Oh, well, the fact that he sends in that he wants to, have the military come in and squash these protests. I think that we should have done it. I think we should have done it sooner, before they took their sledgehammers to Rodeo Drive. We should never have allowed that to happen.
Someone screams "fuck Trump" out of car driving by. Military or federal officers?
Maybe I don't know the difference.
Actually, being in Portland, the time I was, the DHS officers on the streets can look like military, but no, they're federal law enforcement officers.
Whatever it takes. And I don't think they should be restrained from using rubber bullets and tear gas. I think they should use more of it. I think the minute a crime is committed, the thing should be stopped. I can't understand why we're tolerating any crime from these protesters. What's the excuse? They wouldn't tolerate me committing a crime. Why can a protester commit a crime?
So let's discuss, how about vandalism, for instance?
That's a crime, right.
Last night, the Van Nuys police station in the San Fernando Valley, there was a bunch of graffiti painted on it, and the American flag was taken down and burned. So
I did not know that.
I was out there late last night, but so do you think rubber bullets should be used against people tagging a police station?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if that's what it takes, if you say stop and they don't stop, then you stop them. Take whatever force is necessary to stop them from putting graffiti on a police station. I don't understand tolerating crime. If I were doing graffiti on a police station, they'd have a net thrown over me and I'd be off to jail now.
I don't know, Mamona, you don't look so threatening.
No, but if
I'm not so sure about that.
Okay. When I was a young person, not an old person, I know that if I tried something like that, I would be in jail. I mean, just if they're going to make an exception for the elderly, that's a different story. But if you tried it, if you got out your paint and painted the police station, you know that you would be in jail, right?
Right now, I would say no, because it seems, especially in the case of when you're dealing with protests, law enforcement are having to use a lot of restraint because of the political pressure.
Well, let's say 10 years ago, when we were normal.
Quite possibly, yes.
So that proves my point that that's a crime. We have to agree that it's a crime to put graffiti on a police station. It's a crime worthy of putting somebody in jail under normal circumstances. You don't let people do that. You just admitted you would not expect to be allowed to do that 10 years ago.
Well, I'm not saying whether it should or should not be a crime and to what extent it should be punished. I'm just saying, it seems like the pendulum has shifted a little bit, and there's more leniency with demonstrators right now.
Exactly. And the point I'm trying to make is that we should not be lenient. against crime. I like Trump because he's less lenient than, for instance, Barbara Boxer, Feinstein, Pelosi, and Newsom, who seem to think it's a legitimate form of expression. Trump does not. Trump agrees with me. Crime is not a legitimate form of self-expression. I wish he were even stronger than he is.
So, in dealing with the rioting, say looting, arson, burning down buildings, I guess you've already made the point. You'd like Trump to send in the military or federal law enforcement.
Whatever it takes, right? And actually, because of the fact that our leaders are not doing it, then I think Trump should do it. Because California is burning down. Well, I'm exaggerating. Los Angeles is being severely vandalized, and that's damaging to us, the residents of Los Angeles. So we should be protected against our leaders who are standing back and saying, go ahead, destroy the city. It's a nice, legitimate form of self-expression.
What other issues are important to you?
Okay.
Crime is obviously
Crime,
one. What
right,
else?
Crime. What else does he do? He demonstrates a way of life that I respect and admire. He's a strong businessman. He's in the real world. He's successful in the real world, and I like that. Knows how to get along. He's climbed up the ladder of success using a legitimate. It seems to me that he's an honest person. In fact, that's my main thing about him, is that he's so authentic. His personality is so authentic. And I love that, and you never see that in a politician. The fact that he doesn't finish his sentences is something I'm used to. I mean, that's the way I communicated in my home with my family. And everybody says, oh, he's stupid, he doesn't finish his sentences. You don't need to finish your sentence once you've made your point. Move on. That's what Trump does.
How do you reconcile liking both Trump and Obama?
I don't like Obama, but I supported him because I thought it was the best thing for, wait a minute, I did. I chose Obama over McCain. McCain was an unacceptable choice because Admiral McCain had participated in the cover-up of the Israeli attack on the U.S. liberty. So much so that he actually was the guy who personally threatened the sailors that if they ever spoke of it, they and their families would be tortured to death. That's McCain. McCain is Admiral McCain, the father of this McCain, the father of the recent McCain, is, in my opinion, a very evil man. So I could not vote for his son. I was afraid of getting that influence. I was afraid that influence would get a hold in this country. And so I voted for Obama. Now, I'm almost starting to regret that because Obama was on the side of the Palestinians and the Muslims. And I was very ignorant of Muslims. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know about female genital mutilation. I had no idea. I didn't know they forced their women to wear masks. All I knew is that Israel was attacking the Palestinians, and so I just automatically went on the side of the Palestinians, and that's why I chose Obama over McCain. Because McCain was on the side of the Israelis. Now I have changed my mind.
All right, so you're okay. An interesting mix. Any final comments before I head back to Santa Monica
I think
Boulevard?
we should go back and thank you very much for the opportunity to be interviewed. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. Likewise, pleasure meeting you, Mona.
Thank you.
The left wants to tear down this country and the right wants to lift it up. What side are you going to choose? What side are you going to choose? Do you want to lift this country up or do you want to tear it down? We want to lift it up. We are the United States of America. And we're fighting for you, buddy, in the Tesla. You just don't know it. You've been indoctrinated by CNN.
Who was in the Tesla? I didn't see. What did the Tesla guy? Okay.
We are the United States of America, not the divided states of America. Don't let the Democrats divide us. They love to put us in these little groups, and then they like to get us to fight amongst each other. It's not going to be happening. We are not being played by the media. The media is the enemy of us. We will not be divided, and we will not snitch on our neighbors. We will love our neighbors. We love our neighbors. We love you. God bless you. We love our neighbors. God bless you. God bless you. Beautiful people. Beautiful people. Trump 2020. Trump 2020. We love you, ladies.
Two thumbs down. Volkswagen lady gives 2 thumbs down.
God bless America. We're fighting for all of us. We the people. It's we the people. Our Constitution is not racist. The Constitution protects us, the people, from a tyrannical government. So do you want tyranny? The Democrats want tyranny. The Republicans want life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness. We are the united, and we're fighting for you, pretty ladies, pretty ladies.
Oh, there's
pretty
a middle
lady,
finger.
we're fighting for your rights too. Yeah, we are. We're fighting for you. You're the United States of America. We're not the divided. We love you guys, and that's why we're fighting for your freedom. This Marxism, you don't want it here. Trust me, I came from Iran. You don't want this here. It's dangerous. It will destroy you. It will try to kill you. They will kill you. You will be the first. Think about it. The same people. Trump 2020. 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 Trump 2020.
4 more years. This is colorblind. This is colorblind. This is colorblind.
You have a nice car. You want that
Meanwhile, Beverly Hills Police Bearcat type vehicle is out on the street again. With officers hanging on the back.
God bless you. God bless America. God bless our state. God bless the United States of America. We the people, don't let the media turn you into hateful minions. Don't let the media turn you into hateful minions. Don't be the puppet of the mainstream media. Don't let the media turn you into puppets of the Chinese Communist Party and radical Islam, because that's what the Democrats are in bed with. All you have to do is look at their logo. The logo has a Baphomet star. That represents death. Then they had a 2, and then they had a picture of America. Death to America. Who chants death to America? Radical Islam, Iran. Do you want that? Do you want that in this country? You want Sharia law? I came from that country. I don't want it here. That's why I'm here in America. You do not want radical Islam here. You do not want radical
That's a
Islam
fuck
here,
Donald
guys.
Trump
You want
song.
freedom.
This is gonna get some attention.
Freedom. I can be a
People dancing inside.
Go to China. Move to China. Go to China. Go to China.
Flipping off the crowd.
Move to China. Move to China.
God bless America.
Don't fuck with this, bitch.
The real law. We do not want the real law in our country. It's evil. Do not vote for Democrats. If you vote for them, you're voting for radical Islam and the Chinese Communist Party. That's what you're voting for. That's why you population control. We are the party of death. We are
Why are you here?
Are you asking me or
I can feel
telling
your
me?
democratism. It's gross. Trump 2020. Trump 2020. Yeah, I can feel your democratism. It's disgusting.
Okay.
It's disgusting, your democratism. It's gross. You're the enemy of the United States. Fuck you. Fuck Democrats.
Democrats
Fuck
are the
you.
enemy of America. We must vote all Democrats and send them to China immediately. Democrats are disgusting. They all sell children. They rape and molest little children. They must be hung in
Democrats sell
public.
children.
All child kidnappers and child traffickers should be shot in public and hung off buildings, else it should be live on news. Fuck yeah!
A few people getting hostile with me. Don't know why.
Okay, if you're not for Trump, I can feel you.
Again,
We believe in peace, love, and life.
would you like to do an interview? Santa Monica Boulevard, right here. Beverly Hills police officers, I presume Beverly Hills. 4 of them across the street. And here we are at Beverly Garden Park in front of the Beverly Hills sign. Rally is winding down, but it's still quite loud out here.
Oh, black guy.
It is your choice. Build the wall. Build the wall. Build the wall. Build the wall. Build the wall.
Would you like to do an interview?
I don't interview with Democrats.
Do you know my voter registration?
We can smell your Democrat. It's gross.
It's the same guy I interviewed last week at the. They're saying he says he can smell my Democrat, and this woman somehow knows I'm registered Democrat. Okay, whatever. No, I'm not a Democrat. What's that? I'm not a Democrat. Go search the voter rolls. Good luck. Well, the First Amendment exists here, regardless of his feelings, her feelings, whoever's feelings. We have a First Amendment here.
We have to convince them that we're right. And you know, being adamant and violent towards them is not the answer. You have to have. I used to be a Democrat. Now I'm a Republican. The Democratic Party has become so far to the left. They don't even have any values. They don't even know what they stand for anymore.
Don't interview with Democrats.
Excuse me, ma'am. How do you know that I'm a Democrat? And theoretically, if I was a Democrat, why am I not allowed to be here having a conversation? I'm live on my YouTube channel. It's the Josh Friedman YouTube channel. My name's Josh Friedman.
Are you a proud conservative?
I am a proud journalist. Look, once upon a time.
Hey, you know what? I had more journalistic standards in high school with MLA citation than journalists have on fucking television spreading fucking bullshit to people that don't know anything, that watch the news maybe like 5 minutes a day. So you need to cite your sources if you want to be a real journalist, please. And a respectable journalist. I'm not saying you aren't, I don't know you, but I think all journalists should hold their own industry accountable for fucking not citing their fucking bullshit sources. Cite your sources. If somebody said something crazy, who said it?
You know how much fake news there is on TV, right?
And most importantly, don't forget.
That was the question.
Okay, but what are you implying? Are you implying that I am fake news?
not at all.
No,
Like, do you know who,
fake news.
do you know who I am? Do you know who I write for? Do you know?
That's not what I said. I
just said
Look, if you go to my YouTube.
I'm asking if you're aware that there's a lot of fake news on TV. I didn't say anything about you.
All right, and if you go to my YouTube channel, you can actually find at least one video, if not others, in which I do a full-on hour-long sit-down and debunk fake news.
It's not about debunking, it's about citing your sources as you report current news.
Well, I don't know if you want to get into an argument about journalistic ethics, but I mean, there's a time. I mean,
some ethics.
There's a time and place for anonymous sources, because some people are in positions where they would like to blow the whistle, or maybe not blow the whistle, but they'd like to reveal information that they feel threatened.
I'll give you just a simple example.
And I'm not here to defend the Washington Post, the New York Times. I'm not here to defend it.
But nobody's admitted the entire industry took a shit on the world. If people are bad artists, you can call somebody a bad artist. If somebody is a bad doctor, you can say you are a bad doctor. But journalists have no accountability for just spreading bullshit, giving people fucking awards for false news, for shit that isn't real, for shit that's not even a fucking issue, for spreading lies about our police departments. Why? Can you answer that? You're a journalist, you're a human being.
My question to you is what?
Why?
Okay. Annabelle,
Why would anyone?
My question to you is how have I attacked the police? How have I attacked the police? How have I spread lies?
I asked you if
I'm here for my own channel myself.
You asked me a question, I'm answering it. I asked you if you're a proud conservative. You said no. I'm not.
No, I didn't say no. I said I'm a proud journalist.
You're a proud journalist.
I didn't reveal to you my politics. But if you want to know, my personal politics are libertarian.
Okay.
But you see, journalistically, I've come to the understanding that the value I provide to the world is not to shove my views onto other people. It's to provide the audience with a variety of perspectives.
There's a huge variety of perspectives.
When I said you, I'm speaking not as a you. I'm speaking you to as somebody who is not supporting conservative values. Because there is one side that wants to take away a police force from you and only leave it to the private citizen. There's the other. As a libertarian, you don't want the government at all.
No, I'm not here to
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Sir, I'm not here. Sir, you asked me not to speak over you. Now you're speaking over me. Sir, I'm not here to promote libertarianism. I'm not here to promote my personal political views.
I'm asking you as a person who's holding a camera in my face, do you have any beliefs or values at all?
I'm not here to promote my personal politics. I know that sounds absolutely crazy in this day and age, but
we're having a conversation with a third person, which is your camera. You can't say anything about yourself because you're recording me. You can't turn the camera on yourself and look at the camera and say your beliefs for a second.
Are you looking at people's opinions? What are you actually documenting?
Okay. If you go to my channel, it will be abundantly clear.
Talk about your channel, dude. What are your political opinions?
Right now! And I mean it, goddammit!
This man is just instigating again. Okay, who was asking? You asked something.
I asked you a question.
What question did you ask?
I said, how in the right mind can you justify a police force for the private, rich citizens of America, and then defund it from the rest of the people that pay our taxes their whole fucking life? My girlfriend called the police the other weekend when we had riots. She couldn't get a hold of our public police. We got a fucking call line, a dead tone, and an answering machine. Like this is the most taxed state in the country, next to New York. We should be able to get a 911 operator in the phone.
Sir, we're almost how long? We're more than 4 hours into this broadcast. There's plenty. Watch it for yourself if you want to see what we've been doing. There's no secret here. It's live, raw. It's live, raw, unedited.
Okay. Okay, man. So, this is as live and raw as it gets actually being here. I'm just asking you about your beliefs.
Yeah.
I asked you a pretty simple question.
Yeah, and I've
in regards
explained it. I've explained to you
I'm gonna go check out your
repeatedly.
channel. I'm asking. You're standing in front of me. I'm just asking you.
Yes, I'm telling you repeatedly. I'm not here to
voice
promote
your
my
opinion.
political views.
All right, fair enough. You know what? Journalism should be unbiased.
All right, there we go.
There we have it.
There we go. It seemed like it was going to be a very calm day after the police cleared everyone out of here, but you see, our generation has become used to journalists. Bro, hold on a second. Our generation has become used to journalists, live streamers, anyone and everyone with a camera taking one political side or another. But it hasn't always been that way. And I pride myself on letting you speak, and letting everyone speak.
I'm sorry, but now's not the best time to be quiet. Now's the time to say, hey, we need our fucking police, refund our police, because you're gonna have what's happening in Portland across all of America. You know why that shit got shut down in Wisconsin? Because, and I'm from Wisconsin, Wisconsiners have guns. When the Antifers and the BLMers and the rioters came to destroy their city, fucking people were armed and working with the police to defend their city. And it shouldn't come to that. You guys should be able to talk. Everyone should be able to talk and voice their opinions just like talking about food. It's no different. Everyone can have an opinion. It's wrong for you to say, when you start taking away people's rights because of one person's opinion, that's crazy. We're all in the same sandbox and you're taking a shit in it.
It's almost as if there are no counter protesters, so there have to be counter protesters invented. Someone's screaming "fuck you" from a gray car across the street.
Are you libertarian?
Yeah, my personal views are libertarian.
Oh yeah, you like Ron Paul?
I used to be a very big...
You don't like him anymore?
It's not so much that I don't like him, that I just checked out of party politics. I checked out of voting.
I'm libertarian too, bro.
I hang out at Anarchapulco.
You're anarcho-capitalist?
It's not. I don't like the term anarchy, just because I don't really believe such a thing exists, but that's semantics. My personal views are very libertarian, essentially anarcho-capitalist.
Oh, she can't handle it.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh my God, there's Trumpers.
I don't know what you guys were arguing about.
Oh my God.
You were saying you're for private police?
No. What I'm saying is that I'm a journalist, and I'm not here to promote my personal views.
Oh yeah.
And some people don't like that. Some people are insistent that I say that I'm Republican or Democrat or conservative or liberal.
That's not our business.
And anyway, so you've got a Gadsden flag out here.
Yeah.
Well, you missed all the action.
What happened?
You want to? I'm out of
Yeah,
breath
so
now.
there was a counter protest.
You don't have to express an opinion. It doesn't matter.
Well, the world's becoming really polarized, and it's now happening where I go all kinds of places, and People want to pin.
Because it looks
They
like
want
they
to.
have like a
They want to.
professional thing going on. They're just curious.
Well, a lot of people want to pin me into a corner, which they don't make the journalist corner available.
You're not. Who are you gonna vote for? Though?
I'm not voting.
Do you like any of them or no?
I signed my name off the voter roll several years ago.
If you had to vote.
I'm done. I don't have faith in politicians. What I say repeatedly is that my contribution to the election is my reporting.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah.
I don't.
That's fine.
I mean, my personal views are closer to some candidates than others, but I have no interest in voting in the election.
Yeah, no, I was just curious what you guys were.
Woo! USA! 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 USA!
All right, guys.
Police on bicycles. There's some police on bicycles.
Yeah, we have police on a bicycle. I was thinking of explaining some of my personal situation in an individual video, but I guess a lot of you guys heard that in this conversation or these conversations right here.
I think there's our friend from last night.
Yes, Aaron.
Who gets to be lorded over by
I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but I'm just here as a journalist to report things. It's probably the most radical statement that's been made all day.
Joe Biden loves to grope little babies.
Do you guys hear that Joe Biden likes to grope little babies? Over the megaphone, probably.
You have to plug in.
I don't think we need to plug in. I think we're about 50% charged. A journalist that calls looters protesters and calls patriots militia. Have you spent any time on the Josh Friedman YouTube channel lately? But I know this just becomes very antagonistic, and that's not what I want. Normally I don't even want to get into these discussions because then I start becoming the story and we lose focus from what I'm actually reporting on. Yeah, Green Rager, the thing is that, and thank you, Carlos, the thing is, those certain commenters you're referring to, there's going to be tons of them regardless. Yeah, yes, sir.
I may not agree with your politics, although I don't know what your politics are.
Yeah.
But there's no need to come up and scream and curse at you guys. You're just doing your jobs.
There's some people here who I don't know if they're letting their emotions get the best of them, but
it's because. Let me put it this way. They're a liability because if I
can
were...
Can you come on camera or no?
Okay, then I'll choose my words carefully.
Oh, sure.
Steady cam.
No, but just keep going what you're saying. People would hear.
I'm aware that a couple of people have come up to you guys and cursed at you. Now, I happen to be a Trump supporter. There's no reason to curse at you guys. You're not doing anything. You just, I mean, you've been polite with everybody. You haven't, like, jammed a microphone, blah, blah, blah. And so if I were a leftist, which I'm definitely not, I'm a Trump-supporting conservative, but if I were a leftist and I wanted to make all conservatives look bad, I would go and I would deliberately film the people cursing. And by the way, I'm not saying you guys are doing that at all. I'm saying, but that's what I would do, okay? There's no need to curse at people. Just whatever your reasons for collecting film. Maybe your reasons are noble, maybe they're terrible. It doesn't matter. You're being polite about it. You know, being rude about it. On the other hand, I also saw some BLM people scream at an 8-year-old girl and make her cry. The girl was black. How can you say Black Lives Matter and then scream at an 8-year-old black child? What did that kid do? So my advice to everybody is if you're going to go to a political rally, say what you're for, but you don't need to run around and go and just, if your entire argument is F the other side, then you're stupid, okay? I can tell you what I believe, why I believe it, and I could do it without screaming at you. And I can tell you why, if you believe something different, we have a difference of opinion. But to go up to somebody and just scream at them, it's not civilized behavior. And especially go up to a child and scream at them until they cry, that's terrible. And I've seen both of those today. And the last thing I'll leave you with is, I'm a Trump supporter, I'm Jewish, and I'm white. I saw a lady today, she was a Biden supporter, she was Muslim, she was dark-skinned. She was as nice as can be. We had a pleasant conversation, you know? I said to her, I said, you know, you're Muslim, I'm Jewish, you're for Biden, I'm for Trump. That's what makes the world go round. And I said, you know, you're welcome at my dinner table if I'm welcome at your dinner table. I said, salam alaikum, you know, which is the Muslim equivalent of shalom for the Jews. And it was a pleasant, she could not have been nicer. Now, I didn't even bother trying to convince her because she told me these are my beliefs and I accepted that. So everybody, you can argue for your beliefs without calling in bomb threats. The last thing I'll say is I love capitalism and that's a potential customer. Take care.
Yeah, we let him pitch his shirts on the stream earlier. I forget what his name is. His name is Eric something, I think. Where?
I hope that was
worthwhile. It was worthwhile to me. I hope it was worthwhile for you.
I mean, look, if I find out later that you superimposed my head on a goat, what can I do about it? You know? I hope you don't, but...
But if it's whatever sells a t-shirt, so...
I mean, I'd rather not be a goat, but... My thing is that I have no patience for people who, if your only argument, like I said, is F this, F that, I don't want to set the world on fire, you know? I just want to live my life, be happy.
All right, we had a lot of viewers probably leave and new viewers come on. So one more time, who are you and what's your shirt company?
Sure. My name is Eric Golub, and I'm just a fella. I sell t-shirts. I'm actually a professional comedian. And so while I happen to be a conservative, what I tell everybody is there's no need to just go up to complete strangers and yell and scream at them and curse at them. And I've seen that all over. You know, I've seen leftist BLM people walk through here with their middle fingers up going, F Trump, F Trump, F Trump. You're not going to persuade anybody, okay? You get your 3-second power trip and that's it. But then I've also seen, and I saw this with my own eyes, a couple people who said they were Trump supporters come up to you, curse you out, say you're the enemy. Okay, you're not my enemy. I don't even know you. You could be a nice guy.
Well, we're both Jewish, so how could we?
Yeah, you know, it's what I always tell everybody, and some of your viewers might be too young to understand this, but we could disagree on politics, we could disagree on religion, we could disagree on sports teams. As long as you don't attack Angela Lansbury, I can get along with you, okay? Don't attack Murder, She Wrote. I love the people of Cabot Cove, Maine. They've never done anything to... And if you're under 20 and you don't get it, that's okay. But the point is that it's like, if you need to go up to people who disagree with you, or may not even disagree with you, but they're wearing neutral colors and you think they disagree with you, and you need to yell and scream at them, okay, watch a ball game. Have a beverage. If you're capable of getting a romantic partner, okay, which I don't see how you can, because most people who yell and scream, whether it's Palestinian suicide bombers or people who yell in the streets here, chances are if you're yelling in the streets and you're angry all the time, you don't have a girlfriend or boyfriend. Okay, you don't. Okay, we know that. Okay, that's why Al Qaeda and ISIS, they prey on teenagers with no dating prospects. Okay, because if you have a girlfriend and you're happy, you're not going to go around rioting. But anyway, my point is this: say what you are for. Say it in a calm manner. Okay, because you never know who's going to be a friend that you could have for life. And, you know, I'll say what I said before. I'm Jewish. See, we hear people just wondering.
They're screaming, fuck. We've got this car, someone screaming, fuck Trump out of it, stopping in the middle of the streets, flipping them off.
Now, what does that accomplish? It accomplishes nothing, okay? I'm Jewish, I'm white, and I'm a Trump supporter. I met a lady today here. She was Muslim, dressed all in her Muslim garb. She was dark-skinned, and she said she was for Biden. And she was as nice as can be. And we had a pleasant conversation. And I said to her, I said, look, you know, I'm Jewish, you're Muslim, I'm for Trump, you're for Biden. I said, but you know what? I'd come to your dinner table if you'd come to my dinner table. The Jewish word is shalom. For Muslims, it's salam alaikum. I don't hate somebody just because they see the world differently from me. I'm a Trump guy, but if you're not a Trump guy and you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Everybody just be nicer to each other. Be for what you're for, but don't just run around yelling F and be against, because that solves nothing. Anyway, God bless you all. I hope you have happy lives, because this is supposed to be about making the world a better place.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah. And buy my merchandise.
We showed you some of the shirts earlier, so you'll have to find that point in the broadcast.
It's my most popular t-shirt. And I'll show you the back. I made it multicultural. I unite the world here. Whether you're in the black community and you call it a badonkadonk, whether you're in the Jewish community, you call it a tuchus, or you're in the Hispanic community and you call it a kalito. Whether it's kalito, a tuchus, or a badonkadonk, backsides matter.
There you go. Said by Eric. At this point, I don't know what else left. We've got a couple officers across the street. A couple.
You want to make a difference? Make it happen. I want each and every world to pledge to win for themselves, that for God's sake, pass it forward.
We've got a couple officers on bicycles, and numbers dwindling for the second time today. But still, lots of cars honking their horns. Someone asked, where did the Antifas go? I don't know if we had any Antifa here, but we definitely had some counter-protesters who were aggressive with police officers several hours ago down that way. Or I should say, definitely one counter-protester who was aggressive with police. Down in the intersection of Rodeo Drive and Santa Monica Boulevard. So if you weren't tuned in earlier, watch early on in the stream, the first half hour when things got really intense. Yes, Annabelle.
I think it's getting chilly out here.
Even for northern German.
Yeah, and you know what I don't like is when people are acting off rumors or just creating something in their head. This one girl said, I can sniff Democrats.
She can sniff that you and I are particularly,
well,
I am a
I think
Democrat.
she should blow her nose because she, can't sniff very well apparently.
Do I smell like a Democrat? Okay, can you pop on the stream for a second?
Sure.
Do I smell like a Democrat?
I don't know. No, probably not. I don't think anyone can smell like anything unless the word smell means visual cues. I don't know what. But
Although if everyone here is for the Constitution and Bill of Rights, it wouldn't matter if I'm a Democrat because they would respect the very First Amendment to the Constitution.
Exactly.
Nonetheless, you were helping me out a lot last night.
Yeah. That's
Over
good.
in Van Nuys.
Yeah.
You want to plug yourself really quickly again?
Sure.
Since we got a larger audience.
Yeah, just Team Playback is the collaborative channel that I have with my friends. 2 words, Team Playback. My Instagram is Not Celsius, NOTCELCIUS, Not Celsius. I do videography, news coverage. Sometimes I act as a stringer at night, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I have a separate personal channel that only has like 20 subscribers, but it's called Video World. It's kind of hard to find. It's by link only so far.
It's in the description of my Van Nuys video from last night. My Van Nuys stream from last night. All right, Annabelle, what do you say? Should we wrap this up?
Yes, I think it's dying down
Then
here.
let's-
There are only 2 police officers on the other street left, 2 on bicycles here. I think everything is dying down. It doesn't seem like more counter-protesters are going to come here. And I think it's the end of the rally.
Then maybe we walk and talk to wrap this thing up.
All right.
Let's head
Even
this
Aaron
way.
left.
What's that?
Even Aaron left.
Yeah.
Can we unplug?
Yes.
Thank you very much. One last USA chant, maybe?
2 weeks from now is another rally.
They've been going weekly lately.
Okay, 2
Okay.
weeks from now. it could
Yeah,
be
well,
finished.
I don't know. We'll see where where we are and whatnot. Let's see. A lot to recap. Very early on in this broadcast, there was a lot of action, with most of the action being in the first 20 or 30 minutes. I can never, between the selfie stick and the...
I can hold
never
it.
get the right, in your zoom feature, I never get the right configuration. Anyway, so yeah, if you didn't see the beginning of the broadcast, once the stream ends and processes, watch the beginning. That's when things got rowdy. A police officer pepper spray. Actually, I don't know if it's pepper spray, but a police officer sprayed a counter protester in the face. That counter protester was getting very rowdy. He was shoving police, and police were shoving back or pushing back with their batons against him. And there was a lot of action in the intersection of Rodeo Drive and Santa Monica Boulevard. Yes, Rodeo Drive stuff was going down on Rodeo Drive at the beginning. Likewise, we had what was rumored to be a bomb threat or bomb scare that shut down a bunch of streets, including the park, and as well as the park right over here, which pushed the protest down to Rodeo Drive. Actually, I should say pushed the rally down to Rodeo Drive. So it was a little chaotic at the very beginning. We had trouble just getting to the rally because of the street closures. I still haven't confirmed if it indeed was a bomb scare, but lots of people have been saying that there was a bomb threat and that it was determined to be false, or that there was no bomb, there was no explosive. But nonetheless, whatever it was, that created a little bit of a chaotic atmosphere, along with the clashing between between Trump supporters and counter protesters. Early on, there were heated arguments, but nothing in the way of violence like there was last week with fistfights and brawls and a sucker punch that I recorded on my stream. So yeah, a lot of action early on, and then over the span of the broadcast, let's just walk on the sidewalk. We did a bunch of interviews, including with Errol Weber, who is a Republican congressional candidate running for California's 37th congressional, the 37th congressional district seat against incumbent Karen Bass. We did a long interview with him. Might make that a video of its own, might not.
I can edit it together.
That would be of help because, at least to me, that was an important interview today. But that's somewhere in the middle of the video, and then a lot of shenanigans with certain people being very antagonistic with us. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they can literally sniff that I'm a Democrat. That's what one lady says. And then there's the other man who I've discussed several times, I'd say needlessly at this point, who doesn't understand the First Amendment, doesn't understand I'm allowed to film in public, and for some reason is all upset over me asking if he wants to come on the broadcast, not coercing him, not pressuring him, asking him, and then letting him promote his organization on my stream, and he throws a fit against me.
I also saw that lady in a wheelchair who called us spies yesterday and to Junga. How's it called?
To
Hunga, yeah.
Two Trump rallies in 2 days for us. Anything else you'd like to add, Annabelle?
Well, the police officer who...
And by the way, guys, before we wrap it up, I'll take one quick scan at comments. I obviously have missed most of the comments, but I'll take a quick scan
So that police officer, or who sprayed that one black guy in its face, told me that I should better get away because they might pepper spray him again. So I think it was pepper spray what they used.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting point that I hadn't heard before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to check the video. I don't know if I got it. It was very difficult to film at that beginning situation. Lots of pushing and shoving. The officer who sprayed the counter protester was a very tall officer. He seemed to be a supervising officer, and he had this tall spray bottle, not looking like your typical pepper spray, and he just sprayed him right in the face, and you could see the stuff dripping down from his face.
Yes.
But I don't know if I captured that.
I captured it.
Well, if you did, then you've got some good footage.
Okay, so I have to upload it.
To upload to your channel and maybe to mine as well.
Okay.
And your channel is?
Okay, my channel is Romika Annabelle, Romika, Annabelle, Annabell, no E in the end. And on Instagram, it's romika.annabelle.
And my channel has a very active chat that I'm going to take a look at right now. You know what? I'm going to flip the camera, try to flip the camera around. Yes, this is Beverly Hills. Ensign saying good broadcast. Thank you, Ensign. Let's just see if there are any comments or questions that I could address before we wrap this up. James says he missed most of the good stuff. Well, James, you can watch the replay.
After it's processed.
Thank you, Elaine, like always, for tuning in. Thank you very much, Elaine. Someone says, I thought Eric Golem was the Jewiest, and then I saw oh, that's a troll. I didn't realize. Someone's asking, why didn't he want to go on camera? Did he do the bombs? I don't know if you're talking about the guy I had the issues with. The main person I had the issues with.
The guy who grabbed your arm?
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the man who I had these issues with, at one point he grabbed my wrist, basically an attempt to yank the phone out of my hand, and I reacted very angrily and he backed off. I'm just right, says Josh. Another great job by you and Annabelle. Thanks. You're very welcome, and thank you. Huh?
That's cute. Just a little smaller.
Hold on a second. Someone's saying Josh has been interviewing people with no hands in lawless DMZs in the mountains of Europe for like 6 years. All right, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Roz. Alright. Sorry I couldn't address many of your comments. So someone saying Weber was great. That was a worthwhile interview, I would say. And might be its own video. Thank you very much, Agent Orange, for tuning in. Thank you for your past contribution. Really appreciate that. Alright, so I don't know where we'll be coming to you from next. We may be done with coverage in LA this weekend. We may not. There could be stuff going down in San Luis Obispo, California next week. Quite possibly. Related to the Tiana Arata case. But we're also going to be monitoring, of course, what's going on in LA and potentially elsewhere in the western US or who knows where. But for now, we're in Beverly Hills, and I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone who tuned in, everyone who was a participant in this broadcast, and we'll see you soon, live and on the ground.
Cheers.
Probably somewhere in Southern California or on the Central Coast, but stay tuned, and you'll find out. Choose from Beverly Hills.
Cheers.
Have a good night.